Greetings, loves. Greetings. What's up, TMZ? Thank you for coming in the building. Hey, Miss Chantel, how you doing? All right. I think I muted you there. You have some background noise going on. What's going on, Donnie?
Hey,
Can you
love.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on?
Okay. How you doing? Uh-oh. I think we lost sound here.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Just enjoying a lovely Saturday.
Okay.
What
All
about you?
right. For those of you who don't know, this is Donnie Casanova from You Ain't Shit for Watching. Okay, that's the name of his channel. All right, that's the name of his channel. So it's good to have you up here, brother.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
glad to be here. Much appreciated. Thank you for the shout out. What's going on? How you
Well, I
feeling,
want to
man?
know. I'm feeling come up with the name for that channel. I think you told me before, but if you did, I don't remember.
Yeah, you ain't shit for watching. So basically, the way I want to run my show is it being a conversation. And typically, growing up as a kid, all the people was coming over to the house for the family functions, events, and everything else. And they always set out, had a couple drinks, and sit at the table, and they get to talking. Somebody be high side, and somebody be trying to bring a conspiracy theory up. Whatever it was, the conversation would go on. And at some point, somebody would say something crazy, and the response would be, "You ain't shit." Now, if they typically said it to my father, well, my father would say, "Well, you ain't shit for sitting here. You ain't shit for participating in the conversation. You ain't shit for talking with me." So, since this is a YouTube channel, you ain't shit for watching.
Okay, that makes sense. It does make sense now. Because that's what I was saying about, Hassan. He ain't shit, and everybody who keep, subscribing to him and paying attention to his channel, they ain't shit for watching either. You know, so
That's
I agree.
that's the dude who afraid to come out the closet.
I mean, he act like it's gonna kill him. You know, I just don't understand. I mean, at this point, it's like everybody already know. Everybody pretty much understand what he going through. you know. So maybe he should just go get some therapy to help him through it to figure it out. He's doing the same thing Malik Yoga is doing.
Malik Yoba, Malik Malik had he probably was finna get exposed, and he just said, "You know what? I'm gonna embrace it. I'm gonna embrace." Although everybody knew he was gay for years, it's probably the same with the same other dude. This whole situation is crazy.
It really is.
It's 2019. If you
Man,
gay, go ahead and wave that flag around and be proud.
exactly. Exactly. I just shared on my community tab right before I started up. I saw I don't know if you know about this channel, Nick at Night, but she got a little bit more subscribers than Hassan has. And she pretty much does like the messy celebrity gossip. She just kind of does it. She's a young one. She's probably like in her 20s, and she just don't be all loud or wild with it. So I guess it's easier to swallow that way.
Uh,
And so show about Tank. So apparently
uh,
Tank got outed.
R&B singer.
Hmm.
That's the dude who said he like getting his booty ate out, right?
Yeah, so you done heard about that story.
He was on the Breakfast Club, I think.
Yep, yep. And I watched the Breakfast Club like that, but she played the clips in it. I was just looking at my like, what? Ugh. But then he lied and said he do it only with females. But then the transgenders came out and was like, you lying, you lying. I mean,
Uh, I don't know. I know also in the same vein, not saying it's not true, not really. A lot of transgenders have come out trying to catch them some clout, knowing to put people in a ridiculous position. You remember when that chick
and see,
did she,
yeah, it's like, and I'm glad she made that point too, because that's what I was saying last night about the whole situation. It's like, how come you're outing people? If you're saying you're confident in what you're doing, that's your business, that's your thing, you have the right to choose. Okay, fine. I mean, I think everybody respect it. There'll be some people that'll talk about you behind your back, but for the most part, people are gonna just be like, okay, that's just them. But if you've dealt with somebody and you moved on and they don't want to say what it is that they did, in their bedroom, and you don't feel like it's nothing wrong with you being who you are, why would you come out and try to put it all out there to shame them? That means that you're saying something is wrong with you being what you are, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we're not 12 years old anymore. If we out here in the streets doing what we
Right.
do, be proud about it. It's good to you. It's good for you, right?
Yeah. And everybody don't necessarily need to know, but yeah. What kind of shows y'all be doing over there?
It really be what's on my mind at the time. So the last show we did, we was talking about Tyrone Muhammad, and I
Oh,
just the direction that the community has really taken that has been, for the most part, good. But I see a lot of YouTubers out here on some, oh, well, why can't Tyrone Muhammad fight the gangs? Why ain't he
mhm.
getting cookie? And I think that shit's really corny. So I really wanted to talk about that last night and get other people's perspective on it. But
Oh,
again, it's a show for everybody, so everybody can come in and say your opinion and see how you feel.
okay. So did y'all have a panel on that last night?
Yeah. So we had Daphne. She's a ass celebrity on Instagram. She mainly does a lot of things on Facebook and IG. We had Kev Esther from Black Men Being Brutally Honest. Rain and Woman popped on for a little bit, I think, and uh, Roger Stevens from the Roger Report.
Okay. Because I've subscribed to your channel and I got the notifications on, but I have not gotten one video in my home feed at all. So I probably have to unsubscribe and do it again.
Well, you know what? I also
Because you,
haven't been doing anything because I had a son, so I took paternity leave and was
okay,
focusing on raising this little fat little chubby baby.
okay, okay. That's what's up. Congratulations. Yeah,
Oh,
got
yeah.
you a newborn.
Oh yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Man, listen, I be struggling, but his mama want to breastfeed, so I'm cool with that. That mean I ain't got to wake up super late at night.
Yeah, that does make it easier for you. I mean, it makes it easier for her too. I mean, no bottles, none of that. It's just physically on your body. That's about it, you know.
Yeah, I mean
Because
I
I
would try
did
to
it.
go, but ultimately she want to breastfeed and we're working on the whole pumping situation. But yeah, I didn't know so much that went into this from the ladies aspect. I thought you had the baby, which was crazy, and then once that was up, it was done. The breastfeeding part was easy. I had no idea it was so crazy for y'all.
Uh, no, I mean, Chantel said breastfeeding is the best. I've done it with all my children. So I got a show that I want to do. This is crazy, y'all. I want to see people's reaction on it. You just reminded me about it, and so I'm so glad. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow, but it's a grandmother who's breastfed her grandchildren. So yeah, I want to talk about that. But it's a lot of work because it drains your energy. You have to drink a lot of water. You know, the baby is always dependent on you, and the baby eats a lot, especially in the beginning. And the dryness and roughness and cracking. If you don't have that lanolin on there all the time, and I mean, you could get it's just it could be a lot. It could be a lot.
Yeah, I'm saying he eat every 2 hours like clockwork.
Mhm.
Every two
But that's
hours.
good though. That's good though.
Yeah.
That's a good sign. That means that everything is taking and flowing through well. So, the body has to get adjusted, and then after a while, it'll start to slow down. But in the beginning, the most thing you need is a size newborn or a size 0 everyone diapers.
Oh
Like
yeah,
that's when
he's
we.
already into he's coming up on the size 3. He's 15 pounds, I think.
Oh wow,
Yeah, he's
that's wild.
2 months tomorrow.
Wow. I had one that was big like that at birth, so I get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got me tripped out. Yeah, I like it. Being a dad is cool.
Yeah. 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 That's a big one too. That's what's up. Okay.
I'm
Okay.
in the chat. He's want to talk
So
about when they get clogged. What the hell is get clogged? You know what? I ain't want to know.
get what? Oh yeah, the mastitis, like when the milk gets stuck and the ducts don't, you know, you get like a painful breast infection. I've had that before. So it could be hard, and the baby can get a thrush on the tongue. It's kind of like they call it. The doctors like to say it's a yeast infection on the tongue,
Yeah,
and
he
if you
just had
don't
a
catch it in
thrush.
time, you to get a breast infection. So
He just had a
it,
thrush. We went through whatever the little medication was and it didn't work. So I went online and I looked up a lot. We used that grapeseed extract and it knocked it out in about 4 days.
mhm. That's what's up. Okay, look at you. Let me find out. Okay, all right. So how long you been YouTube
How long have I been wet?
doing YouTube videos?
Man, I started really opened up my channel maybe a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years, and it was really just in
Okay.
response to a dude who was crazy and was stalking me and making these little YouTube videos off of me roasting him on Facebook. So I didn't think much of it.
Mhm.
We did a bunch of videos just kind of for the fun of it, and then Kev from Black Men Being Brutally Honest was like, "Listen, you should really do a show. The shit's funny. The content is there. Hop on it and make it happen." So I started trying to take it a little bit more serious, uh, maybe about 8 months ago. And ever since then, I've been doing it. It's still fun. So as long as it's fun, I'm going to keep doing it.
Right. And see, that's the show that I was on. The was it last week when we was talking about Tyrone Muhammad?
Yeah, Black. That's Kev. Kev did a show on it,
Yeah, that was a good conversation.
and that's
You
all it
know.
should be. It should be Black people on here talking about our community, about things going on
Yeah.
in the neighborhood, so to speak, and going from there.
Yeah. You know, I was glad that you sent me the link because I got to hear you got all of y'all perspectives on it, and you each had something a little different to add to it that I wasn't, kind of thinking about from my perspective. And of course, y'all being guys, and then for any woman, a female, but having different mindsets and different opinions. And I came in kind of in the middle of it. So I always, if I'm on a show, I usually go back and watch the whole show, even my own shows. And
Mm.
so I went back and watched the whole thing. And so I caught what everybody had to say. And I was like, okay, I didn't think about it like that. But, I think that's where having an open mind pays off when we have these discussions, because sometimes people be stuck like the way you see it and the way you think it should go. But if you're willing to listen to where the other person is coming from, then you could meet in the middle somewhere, and you could kind of see, because I was thinking something totally different than at least what you were saying. But when I heard you explain why you felt that way, I was like, okay, I never would have thought about it that way. Okay, I get it. So instead of just coming off and saying something like he shouldn't have did it and XYZ, maybe, hearing what you had to say gives some a little perspective into maybe why he did it, like what his mindset could have been, or why anybody else would have done it, you know,
Yeah,
because
because
your
that dude,
take on it is
that so basically, for people who don't know, Tyrone Muhammad is a Black community activist who lives in Chicago. On the south side of Chicago, there is a nail salon that has a history of basically messing with Black women. They're patrons. When they go in there, they might get some attitude. They might get kicked out. Apparently, this last run round, dude was putting his hands on Black women in there. So Tyrone Muhammad went in there and had a conversation with dude. The dude basically waved him off, wasn't trying to hear it. So Tyrone came back the next day with a bag of bricks. Told all the women, get up out of here. You don't want to be in here, and bust every window of that shop like he was doing it for
wow.
points. Um, and I've seen a lot of YouTubers say he was stupid. It was foolish. We don't need to be like that. Why are you trying to protect these Black women? They don't even want to be protected. But I look at it like this: this is our community. If you want to come into our home, into our zone, and have us patronize you, and then you disrespect us, whether you care for Black women or not, at the end of the day, they're still our women. So if you look at it like a child, if a Black woman is coming in there, she just don't want to listen, she want to patronize. When your child goes out and you tell your child, don't go to this store, don't go to this place, and your child come home with a black eye, you still gonna flip the fuck out. You might flip on a child, but you can flip out on a motherfucker who did something to your child. So that's how I
Mhm.
look at it. He went over there, regardless of what your allegiance is. With a lot of these red pill MG toe dudes are uh, of the mindset of, well, it's the Black woman's problem. It's the Black woman's problem, not mine. Fuck that. It's our community. You're not gonna come in my community and disrespect my people. You're just not. Our problems are internal. So if I cuss you out on Monday and Tuesday I see somebody coming to fuck with you and you ain't part of our community, we got issues.
Right, right. And that's commendable, because I mean, that's generally how it goes with family. Like, you might fight, but still let somebody else run up, it's going to be a whole nother story. So, that's a very family like and protective mindset to have. And I mean, I was just like, why are they going back? Because even after I got off the panel, because I didn't hear anything about it until you guys did the show, and I heard that the guy had put his hands on a few women. Like, this is not the first time that this happened. The guy at the store, at the shop or whatever. Is that true?
Yeah, no. Apparently, he's put his hands on a few women, and And like I said, that's a problem. So everybody wanted to go out there and kumbaya it, and that wasn't getting shit. That wasn't getting shit done. Once that window bust open, he brought national attention on a large scale. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if it's real big, but I saw on Instagram he out there reading the script. I'm sorry. I if you come back, I'll make it better. I'll do better. He's copping please. He apologized, but before all that, he was stone faced. Didn't give a fuck. That let me know he was gonna keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So at the very least, him and anybody else that's in our community is gonna have a double take, especially in Chicago, about fucking with black women.
Right. See, and that makes sense, because he did get some results, Um, and my issue is still with the women, why are you going back there?
Right. They shouldn't be patronizing that man. No, no. But you still gonna have scabs. You still gonna have defectors that's gonna cross the picket line and go over there. Or you got somebody who don't even know. I think of it like this: if you go over there, and I've told you 20 times, don't go over there, and that man disrespects you, okay, that's one thing. But my sister may not know about it. My actual blood sister may not know about it, so she may walk in there and that man put his hands on her. Now she getting hemmed up, but because I let that shit go down with you, it has now affected my sister. So I have to take a hard line in general whenever some shit like this pop off.
Man,
You're
that
not one of
makes
my
sense.
fuck you disrespecting our women for. Why do you feel so comfortable to do that?
Yep, that makes sense. That makes sense. And that's that old school thinking because, you're thinking about everybody, how it could affect everybody, not just, oh, I don't know that female, she ain't no responsibility in mine. So I get it, I get it. Just like gosh, what was that other case I was talking about the other day? And um the one that got shot at the gas station in Florida on the stand your
Uh,
ground law. They was gonna let
Marquise
the guy get
McLaughlin,
off.
is that who it
Yeah,
was?
yeah. They protested, and so from them protesting, they brought the dude in and actually put him up on charges, and so he was found guilty of manslaughter. Now he hasn't gone to sentencing yet. I think it's going to be in October. Um, but hey,
He
the
gonna get a slap
protesting
on
got
the wrist.
yeah, and I don't know if you saw the show that I did, but it was a brother that went to prison and interviewed him, and he did his best, to make him look out like a victim. I mean, it was hard to watch. It was really hard to watch. So
That's what I said the other day. A lot of these dudes have Fiddler syndrome, right? Fiddler is the dude from Roots. Chicken Joe. When Kunta Kinte first got there, your name Toby now, and you got to listen to
yeah.
Master. I'm not gonna mess it up for me. I eats in the big house. I'm he really out here trying to kiss Master's ass in order to secure a place where he's sitting high on the hog. And that's a problem. You can't put your people down in order to have some temporary because all that shit can be taken, some temporary dividends pay out for you. Oh well, I'm driving a nice car, I'm looking good, I got this. They take that shit from you in a heartbeat. I'd rather long term shut that shit down and make it have a real place at the table where they gotta respect us.
hmm
Motherfuckers out
Yeah,
here
because we
begging
know
themselves.
at the end of the day, it always happens without fail. Once they're done with you, you know, they ruin you, and sometimes they kill you. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it just prolongs it for you. That's all. It just don't make no sense. And they don't. It's not like your family is gonna be good after you're gone. So I mean, there's literally no benefit to it, and you got generations and generations after you that you're not thinking about. So the sellout is for naught. But it's up to the people to decide they want to continue. This fight to make sure that this brother gets a good sentencing because again, he only got manslaughter and they already campaigning to make him look like you know uh, oh innocent dude and all this kind of stuff. So I don't really see him really doing much jail time.
Nah,
I
he going
really
he
don't.
going He gonna get him a little light sentence. He probably still got all that money they raised from the GoFundMe account for his quote unquote legal fees, but that's really his lynching reward, and
Mhm.
he gonna ride off into the sunset.
Yep. And I didn't check yet because I did want to follow up on it, but I can guarantee you he got one. He was in the interview talking about he needed help. You know, he was concerned about the safety of his wife, and then the guy mentioned his dogs and he was about to cry. And he was literally saying that he needed help. So he was basically saying he needed to go find me. You know.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
just
I'm sure
pathetic.
they'll wreck that shit up real quick. Had him a nice little fat son. He gonna retire in some third world country disrespecting the locals.
Yeah. Yeah, and our people know that they're gonna fight for this dude because you know they're not happy about this. He said when he heard the sheriff, when because the same day that it happened, they didn't arrest him, and the sheriff was like, you know, hey, he was under the right of staying your ground. He did nothing wrong. We're not gonna arrest him. And the guy that interviewed him, he said, "How did you feel when they said that?" He said, "I felt vindicated." Vindicated? What the hell? You ain't vindicated. You know, that's what he
Mhm.
said. And then he also asked him, he said, if you could um, change anything about what you did that day, what would you change? He said, I can't think of anything.
Yeah, he a hero. He a hero in some white supremacist eyes. And he know it.
Hmm.
He probably went off into that little jailhouse, and the little sect of white supremacists was in there giving him cigarettes and cupcakes. Happy to see you, brother. We're gonna take
Hmm.
care of you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He tried to look all pitiful and sad in there, but I don't think he's worried about anything. And our people got to understand. The fight is always on. They don't never sleep. So we shouldn't either, instead of running around here causing problems for each other, goodness. I mean, you've had a lot of issues with people on here, right?
Yeah, to say the least. Yeah. They don't like
Yeah.
dissenting opinions. They don't like motherfuckers who stand up on their 10 toes. These motherfuckers want to fall in line. I can't do that. If it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. We'll call it like that. And I've had
Right.
individuals trip out on me based on that. They try digging into my past, my history, and then try and make it to something that is not based on them being salty and jealous, basically.
Right. Like the dude, what's his name? BMT.
Bacon, mayo, and tomato. Yeah,
Yeah.
he
So
Captain Cool his damn self. Go ahead.
yeah, with his situation, so like what happened with him? Because I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure if y'all got that resolved or, you know, what the outcome
Uh,
was with that, but that's kind of where we met up at, like through that situation with him and that girl, and you and him was going at it at the time, and he was putting out. That's the very first thing that I saw of anything of him. I never knew who he was, but I saw the video him and I think a couple of other guys was doing, and they were trying to expose you and put your records out and all this other kind of stuff.
so basically, it's funny that he says exposure, and it's something I've talked about on the air before. And I think it's funny that he calls it an exposure. When I talk about it openly, you ask me, you get the answers that you want. Basically, we met this dude. I met this dude through uh, another habitual line stepper. So this is we rock with each other. We the habitual line stepper. So that's Kev Esther, Black Men Being Brutally Honest, and Roger Stevens from the Roger Report. Right. So
Hmm.
Kev brought this dude over. He was like, yeah, he a YouTuber. He got I think he may have had like 1,000 subscribers at the time. So we looking at the dude like, okay, he moving, he doing something. Especially when we only had about maybe 300 between us. So we was really trying to pioneer. I didn't know this whole YouTube thing existed. So he doing these shows and he do a show every day. So he like let's rock with this dude. Let's see what he's talking about. Let's see what he know. And for the most part, he introduced us to a lot of YouTubers. Um, and kind of jumped in on our platforms. We didn't really get a boost for him like we thought we would because come to find out later, all his subscribers are bought. paid for.
Right.
Um, he jumped from 1,000 to I think he's currently around 1,400 subscribers. He still only
Yep.
get
And he don't, and I get
200
more views than he do. So you know
right.
they're not real.
So yeah, that tell you a lot. You got that many subscribers and it ain't.
Okay, he fell off, y'all. So you're gonna have to come back in. So just give him more. And I appreciate y'all being here. I'll get that to you tonight. Yeah. Okay,
My
he's
bad.
back.
I must hit a button. But yeah, basically,
Okay.
dude came on the show, and I think the first interaction I had with him, we got into an argument.
Mhm.
Because he sounded like he was out here buck dancing a little bit. He was tap dancing for White Daddy. Uh,
Mhm.
so I proceeded to get in his ass. I cracked jokes. I hurt his feelings, but he stayed around. So at that point, he could at least take a joke. But um, he always just seemed he was real funny style. So we had him on the show a couple times. I went on his platform, and sudden, when you talk to a motherfucker, they start telling themselves he did shit did with him didn't really sit right with me from jump. But I said I'm gonna give it a
Mhm.
go because he know more about this YouTube shit than we do. And the more you listen to him talk, the more he starts to lie. So I started to have him on the show less and less. I think he was really only on about 4 shows. But when he was on the show, he was a character. So I said, okay, he's a character. I'm gonna let the women on my panel kind of fuck with him and see what he's about. Um, this dude, he liked to drink. So one episode, he drinking. We start talking about protecting the women in our community, and I'm pretty sure this was on maybe the Roger Report that we had him on. And his response for protecting women was he was talking about how his wife got into it with a white woman at the supermarket, and rather than pulling his wife away, he decides to choke his wife.
He did what?
Yeah,
He
he
choked
said
her.
he choked her. He said I choked her. I said, bruh, ooh, what you mean you choked her? He said, yeah, she wasn't listening, so
Right
I
there
choked
at the store.
her. I said, how did you choking your wife in front of this white woman who she's arguing with protect your wife? Because it kept her out. I said, so now you got the police being called because you got a domestic violence. Uh, we don't support this message. You need to slow down. So at that point, I'm like, okay, this dude's crazy. He had popped on a couple of other shows here and there, and I'm kind of sitting back, but he's comic relief at best at this point. When I say comic relief, he tells lies that are ridiculous, and the women is gonna eat him up. Y'all can sense a lying motherfucker a mile away. So they start asking him questions. His questions don't add up. So I'm doing little shit like, oh nah, y'all gotta leave him alone. Let him let him tell his story. And he just digging a hole deeper and deeper. So um he clearly likes being on my show, on my panel. Um and he likes the women on my panel. So what he would do is after the show, he would hit them in the back chat separately and be like, hey, why don't you come over to my platform? Come sign a contract with me. Come do this. Come do this. If you come over my platform, you can have free creative control. Um, I thought that was real funny. So at that point, I started watching the dude, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna let him do him because none of the women I'm holding hostage. They can do whatever the hell they want to do. This is all for fun. But the women all come back and tell me this is what he's doing. So we do a show with Nicole, and Nicole kind of gravitates towards me. And she's being funny, and I can't quite figure out why she's being funny. So at some
Mhm.
point, I say, Nicole, what's going on? I have a contract with Joe. I said, okay, so you got a contract with Joe? What kind of contract? She won't tell me. All right. Joe is cussing her out for being on my show. If you be on that show, you got to come on with me. You can't come on that show without me. Um, so I kind of sat back and watched, dude. Um, but he couldn't really just continually just come on my show unless we just wanted to really make fun of him. That just was what it was at the point. Somewhere down the line, he decided to create a phantom beef with basically the people I rock with and the Rollo show. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he took a back chat and tried to misrepresent what the conversation was to make it look like he was messing with Rollo. Before that, I had never had an interaction with Rollo, never seen the show, never heard of Rollo. So Rollo did a show really messing with Rain and Woman. Um, he was going hard on Rain and Woman, but he was, messing with us in the background of that conversation. So I got on the show. I hollered at Rollo. I said, Rollo, where did you get this information from? Who gave you this? And he told me it was a dude named Healthy Heavyweight. Healthy Heavyweight is Joe's cousin. So for Healthy Heavyweight, who's never been on my show, he may have been, but it wasn't. At least he wasn't in that back chat. For Healthy Heavyweight to be on that shit, he had to get that from somebody. It was only through Joe that he got that. So we ran it back to Joe. Joe didn't want to answer, and then a whole beef ran from there.
Wow. Wow. Okay, and you're talking about Rollo that be over on Regis?
I don't know. I don't know who that is. I know Rollo do a travel channel show.
Okay, Rollo from the Rollo show.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Damn. That's crazy. That's wow. So he decided that eventually he decided that he wanted to put your records out there. And you say he fabricated the records, right?
Well, so this is what he did. So he knows the story. He knows everything behind it because I've talked to him about it. We've had the conversation. What he did was he went and he got some YouTube video by the dudes I told you about earlier, who was kind of going back and forth because they was on the same tip. The issue with my record is it's a crazy record because I was accused falsely of sexual assault, right? So that's rape. On the record, it's like kidnapping and it's like maybe 5 to 7 charges or something like that. All of them dismissed, all of them thrown out because they were false. And that means a lot, especially when a black man is charged and the shit is dismissed.
Right. And I've seen it, y'all. So he's telling the truth. I mean, all that crap was dismissed.
But basically, he created this false narrative that the charges were actually, I was actually convicted. He also created the false narrative that I beat up the quote unquote victim. And I think he might have said it was multiple victims. I'm not quite sure at this point. But yeah, he just made up a bunch of whole horrendous lies. And then he tried to really get me to prove that the charges were dismissed after he posts, which is the crazy part to me. He posts this whole YouTube video, and the YouTube video, it has the charges. It says dismissed. But now I need to prove to him that the charge is dismissed. This shit was insane.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I seen it. The way they went on about it in that video was just like, wow, like they was really trying to, stress it out. And I hadn't met you yet. I didn't know who they was talking about. So I just didn't watch the whole thing. But, they was pushing it, like it was just such a egregious thing. Like it was just really, really bad. And, these type of people got to go and that sort of a thing, And then I've been, go ahead.
I think the kicker was he even tried to add to it. I think he tried to make it like it was a child. So not only was, a quote unquote a rapist, I was a pedophile at that. So it was just a crazy ass situation. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say that I ended up meeting you over on Suge's panel when you and Nicole came on that first time. So and then I found out, oh, that's what he was talking about, It was just crazy.
Right. Yeah, so
I mean,
he did
going around putting your stuff out there and putting that story out there with it.
Right. So ultimately, in response, the worst thing you can probably call a person is a rapist. Let's just be honest. It's not really much of a worse crime out there other than what, genocide or something like that.
Pedophilia, yeah.
So, at that point, I'm going through to build up everything I got to show this man is a liar. He inconsistent. This is what he do. And as I was going through it, I realized looking through, because I ended up being in a group chat with him, Nicole, and a couple of other individuals, and they were really confronting him on basically abusing Nicole. So when they added me to the group chat, it was hours after the shit had started, and I didn't really go through it all. But I went back to on this occasion to get to get my facts right, to go ahead and prove what was wrong. And as I was looking through it, I started to realize he was abusing Nicole on some predatory shit. So I said, wait a minute, now you out here calling people a predator, but you a damn predator yourself. So let's go ahead and put the facts and the details. And that's when I got with Nicole, and Nicole was telling me that I went live on YouTube and dropped some magical sex tape that never was sent to me, never existed. Her new videos, new pictures out, and was basically exposing Nicole, which wasn't the case at all. So that's how we ended up on Suge's platform. Suge's platform way bigger than mine. It was a good conversation at that point. Let's get on Suge's, and here we are.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Wow. So where are you guys at now? Like you and him with this beef, this issue?
Hold on. One more time. What was that?
Where are you and him at right now with this issue? I mean, is it pretty much over? I mean, because I mean, your record isn't at all what they're trying to make it seem like. Like the stories that they told are just stories that they made up because all they had was the record, which clearly said that all the charges were dismissed, but they were putting their own spin on it.
Well, where we are now is I still want the fair one with this nigga, but he's scary. So he's trying to act like he's a victim in all this and run around hopping. So I ended up doing my research on dude. Since you decided to do your research on me, quote, and come up with these lies and these mythos of making me this terrible person, I did my research on him, and I know he caught wind of it. And he decided to go ahead and sit his ass down and hope that was the end of it. But really, at the end of the day, you didn't call me a rapist. You got to throw hands with me. So I'm still calling him out. I'm still doing this. I just ain't seen him. So I'm waiting for him to respond.
Yeah, I don't go to his channel or anything. The only time that I did go to his channel was during, the time that all this was happening. And that was, you know, I watched so many of his videos, while researching and everything. And so I don't know if he's active or whatever. I know he's been heavy on other people's platforms and stuff like that. And, he was going around trying to campaign and he's out again. I don't know what keeps happening, but peace to get fucker back down. Thank you for coming through. Who else did I miss? Adwa, Chantel. Night. I see Nightbot is acting right tonight. Nightbot don't want to get fired. I know that's right, Nightbot. There you go. Do your doggone job. Okay, so you back again.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he was going around at first and going on people's platforms and I guess trying to do damage control and get ahead of the situation and everything. And I mean, I don't it's not really too much that I can say about the situation at this time. I mean, she's not here um to really say anything about it. But I mean, he's not innocent. She,
Nah,
not as innocent
he
as
fully
tries
took
to
advantage of that
portray
woman.
herself to be.
Tried to make her situation as worse as possible for his own goals. He was taking full advantage of it.
Right. I mean, I know people are saying, she this, she that, and we know all these things. But at the end of the day, he still was being a predator. I mean, he still was um, like you said, being a person that would use a situation like that and take advantage of a person. And so, having the mindset that you do have, that doesn't excuse a guy. And that doesn't mean that a woman still don't deserve to be protected. Like if a woman says, okay, I don't want to be treated like this, or I don't want to deal with this guy anymore, then he should leave her alone. He shouldn't threaten her, harass her, try to blackmail her, speak to her in the kind of way. He should just leave her alone. He should respect that, and he wasn't that type of dude. He didn't just um, respect any of that. So regardless of anything else that he tried to say, he can't deny that he was out of pocket in a lot of ways because he was.
Yeah, that's what he do. What predators do. They go out here, they seek people that they feel like they can take advantage of, and they get their hooks in them. And once they get their hooks in them, they use every tactic they can to keep them there. And he
Right,
really did put those numbers on Nicole, and Nicole now is strong enough to walk away from Joe. But before she was strong enough to walk away from Joe, this motherfucker had his hooks in, and he was doing what the fuck he wanted to do.
right, right. Right. And I mean it's a good thing that she is because I remember when she wasn't. And he wasn't really shamed or shy to try and force her to, still do what he wanted her to do, even if it was kind of behind closed doors while he running around here trying to say other things publicly or paint her out to be the total bad guy and all the, whole situation. But at the same time, you're messaging her, and I mean, dude, we seen the messages. So I mean,
Yeah, you
like,
can't sit up here and play like you are a leader in the community. You are a family man. You've got uh all this wealth that you're trying to spread around and help the black community out, and you out here preying on women.
right,
But
right.
that's just
And
it.
the only thing that I was having an issue with myself with is the story because I don't know whose story that is. The whole sex trafficking story. I don't know who that story belongs to. I mean, it could be one or the other. It could be a little bit of both. I have no idea. So I can do what I did, which was speak on the fact that it looks like he's lying here, there, and everywhere else, and go with what she said. But at the end of the day, I don't know the truth on that. But I do know things that I saw, for a fact. And even when we was on the panel, and this guy, when Suge called him on the phone, and he's sitting up there talking about he's confronting him, and he's yelling at her, talking about a contract, like trying to
Yeah.
intimidate her. So I could see right then and there that he was a predator, you know.
When somebody if somebody's talking crazy, you should have no reason that you're trying to threaten them into silence. You should be able to say, "Hey, listen, this is what it is. I'm gonna stand up, dude. Shut the fuck up. You got to
Check
stop
your
talking."
like, yeah, there you go. It look
This
you
is
was kind of getting away from the mic for a second.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah, basically, when motherfuckers coming accusing you of shit you didn't do, the conversation shouldn't be, "Oh, I'm gonna threaten you." Oh, no, no, fuck that. Listen, none of that shit happened. Why are you out here fucking lying? I can defend myself, and it is what it is. Now, if a motherfucker want to keep going, then you got to do what you got to do. But ultimately, he didn't even have that off rip. His whole thing was, "I got the contract, Cole. You trying to scare this woman into silence."
right, right. And he was making a lot of threats and stuff like that. So you can't explain that part. You can't sugarcoat that part. I mean, oh, it was a lot of stuff that just looks real bad on his part. So, it's crazy for somebody to be out here. Saw, his videos and stuff there. This dude is on his panel, drinking bottles of liquor. It's crazy. I'm sitting up here like, and people are supporting this dude and believing what he says. Like,
He live in a
it's just
fantasy
really
world.
sad. These people get out here and call themselves leaders and say that they're for the community, and they're clearly not, and they're clearly doing something totally different. but yet and still people act like they don't see it and they support them. When I look at with him, the people who have him on their platform as if they don't see it, that just lets me know what type of people they are, you know.
I think a lot of these
Uh,
YouTubers kiss his ass for the simple fact that if you look on his page, it say he got 14,000 subscribers. So automatically you look at him as if he's doing something. But
that means
I'm
that
telling you,
IQ is low. I'm
yeah, a
sorry, go
couple
ahead.
episodes within a couple episodes, we know this motherfucker was like he crazy. Who's fucking following him? Who's really
Exactly.
sitting behind this dude? You don't have no subscribers. You clearly bought these subscribers, but everything he does is a fantasy. He live in a fantasy world. This motherfucker will tell you about his military history. He will tell you about how to buy and do property. Nigga, you rent. How does a motherfucker telling people about
Mm.
buying and owning property and he rents? That don't make sense to me.
And like you were saying about the subscriber thing, I mean, it just lets me know that their intellect is low, because if they're risking them showing up to other people as a scamming piece of crap like him, then they're not very bright, because you should be able to look like, I mean, I got 7 watching right now, right? That's not a lot, but it's more than he gets on the average, okay, when he goes live. And I look at the view count on my videos and the view count on his videos. He got the most views when he was talking about this drama that was going on at the time. You know, the video he did when he was going to do a tell all and all this kind of stuff, he had like 500 views. That was his highest viewed video, and you got 1,400 subscribers. Please,
It's
that,
talent.
and it
It's
don't
talent.
it don't add up. So it lets you know that his subscribers aren't real. Some people will ring your bell and then kind of, will subscribe. I'll put it like that. And YouTube has changed the whole bell system. So you gotta make sure that your notification is on, and that you're getting notifications. But it's not gonna be that many people. It's not going to be that many people that's going to so happen to never get a notification of his videos. That's just not possible. And then, he's talking about raising all this money for these schools and things like that. He talks about it so much, and he's helped schools and this, that, and third. I have yet to see one piece of proof. I've yet to see. I ain't see. He talking about this backpack fund or fundraiser. I haven't seen him put one backpack on one child, not one video pertaining to. All I've seen is him talk about it and ask for money and
So
brag
it's
about how
funny.
much they raised.
It's funny you mentioned that. So he says things in a couple of different ways. Um, let's go with this backpack, right? So this backpack thing, uh, on, I know when he did the episode or he did a show about all the money I get is going to children and getting them school supplies. He was talking about his own fucking children. He was being real slick at the mouth with that one, but he was talking about his own. He got like 4 kids, so he mind his own
I
kids, school
believe it.
supplies, and everything else. Because you got to remember, this is a man with no job. This is a man who collects a disability check from the military, and his income is more or less fixed. Now, I know he gets a decent amount of money, but I don't really know what the fuck his money's going other than video games and shit like that. But that money was going to his kids. He called me one day. He said it's a black school in, I want to say, South Carolina or North Carolina, all boys academy. They going out. They need money to stay open. I said, okay, cool. I can spend that money. How much do they need? And what's the issue with this? Yeah, they need X amount of dollars, which is way more than what they was getting already. And they only had like 10, 12 days. I said, okay, so if the money doesn't go to the kids, where does the money go? Because I always want to see where the money goes if it doesn't go to the kids at the end of the day. Or they'll get school supplies for the kids that are still enrolled. I said, okay, cool. How much did you give? Oh, I gave $200. I said, okay, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and give money. So send me the link and let me look into it. He sends me the link. The link has all the contributors' names pop up and the amount that they gave. This motherfucker gave $20. I said, wait a minute, $20 ain't 200. So then I started reading into it. The school is basically going to close. There's not uh, uh, a chance that they will stay open. The school is going to close, but he's calling all these people, really trying to make it seem like he's big dog and he's helping out with these schools and doing stuff. And in reality, he only gave $20.
Wow. And somebody in the chat is saying who we're talking about. I know his name is Joe, but his channel is BMT. Is it just BMT or is it BMT something else?
So it's Black Male Talk. And I think he's got another one, but yeah, it's Black Male Talk.
Yeah, it's BMT, guys. Yeah, and see, for really know who he is because those subscribe. I should have ran it through the thing before we started to get the actual proof, like I did, and show exactly how many and everything. But I'm pretty sure he got less subscribers than I do because his view count is less than mine is, and I'm at 4 some. So I mean, but and I don't have no. He gone again. You keep dropping out.
Yeah, you know what? This app don't work so well for me. It'll just drop out randomly. So if I drop out randomly, I know I'm gonna come right back. And yeah, I'll probably be sitting there.
Yeah, I don't have any real venom, for Nicole or anything. I mean, I don't appreciate, the things they was trying to say and all that. But, at the end of the day, she got issues she's dealing with. She needs to get some help. And hopefully wherever she is, that's what she's doing. But he was not how can I put it? Ooh. He just she needed some help with that dude. The guy was really trying to do over. I don't know. He just saw someone that he could take advantage of and treat any old kind of way, and he felt like nobody was gonna care, because of what she's making for herself, and he was comfortable doing it. Like that's the thing that he does. And it's kind of like being in an abusive relationship and you want to get out, but don't want to let you out. It's like it's kind of unbelievable. Like, dude, who do you think you are?
Yeah, the dude's crazy. So let's do this. Since we all here, I got your platform. Your platform is bigger than mine, and we can have it on record just in case it pop up again, because I'm sure it will. I done had motherfuckers like Alexis, what they call him. He's the 5-star general now, or Q. Everybody know him. He talking reckless, talking about he uses military context to check everything. So if you're open, if you're game, if the listeners are game, we could talk about my case, and we can go about what actually happened. If y'all got questions, I'm happy to answer them questions, and we can go from there. Because really, like I said, I'm open to talking about the shit. I done had therapy about it. I done been addressed on multiple occasions. We could have that combo right now.
Yeah, let's do that. Before we do, Miss Chantel says, why does BMT have YouTube people sign a contract? Now, that question was answered by him on his channel, and I'm pretty sure Donnie has an answer. He does have different contracts, if you will. Like he'll have like a BDSM contract, okay, and he'll also have, I guess, contracts with some of the people as if they're actual employees on his non-existent. It's a non-existent channel to me because he doesn't have 14,000 subscribers. They don't get views like that, but they'll set up a whole panels as if they do. And he proclaims, this was what he was telling people, that, you know, he has everybody over there sign contracts, because they have roles to perform, you know, like someone does editing, someone does, I don't know, thumbnails, someone does research and all this kind of stuff. But as far as payment and stuff, I don't think he was paying people, was he?
That nigga is paying in trident layers. Um, he it it really is smart what he did. Let's call it spade a spade. What he did was smart. He went and bought his subscribers. He got to 14K, right? So he looks like he's a big deal. He what's that? What's the website where you can put in people's YouTube and kind of see how much they make? It was the one that you
I
told me.
forget, but I have it, I think, in my email or something.
Social Blade, maybe social something.
That sound like it.
But if you put in
I haven't used it much, but someone sent it to me about Nyla's, and I used it then. But I haven't.
Yeah.
I think that's like
So,
the time I used it.
so if you put it in there, if you put his channel in there, he's making anywhere from I think it was $1 to maybe $40 a month. So you can't really pay nobody no kind of wage to be on your show and put them under contract. Let's just be honest. Let's call a spade here, right? But if you put people on a contract and you have them working, you can maybe put them as an intern and see, oh, we're gonna get your channel later on down the line. You're getting free labor out of people. So it's not really bad what he's doing in terms of being, savvy, 48 laws of power. There's niggas doing it by any means necessary, right? But he a mumble mouth nigga. Every other sentence he starts with literally. And then he don't know where he wants to stand on any kind of political stance. 1 minute he's pro-black, the next minute he's pro-coon. So his channel's gonna fail in general just based on him contradicting himself on a consistent basis. But I think what I think what he's doing with these contracts is he's tricking people into putting effort in and helping his channel grow, and they're not getting anything in return but a false promise.
Yeah, yeah. He's a total scam from what I can see. You know, and that's from me watching his videos myself. That's from, you know, looking at the stuff that, you know, Nicole has sent me, correspondences from him. You know, this guy, you know, again, that, you know, I don't know about that sex trafficking story and all that, but, you know, this guy here is a real piece of work, man. You know, he's a real piece of work. And, you know, I don't know if he's still on his love campaign. I think that's kind of been dissolved or whatever. But, you know, he was trying to go around and campaign hard against this female, like, you know, like he wasn't doing anything. Like, that's crazy. But to your story you wanted to talk about, if anybody's, if anybody's, basically whatever you feel comfortable sharing, you know, go ahead and share. I'm open to hear it all. You know, I've pretty much already heard it, so I don't mind. You know, I mean, you, just like they said their shit, you got a right to say your shit too. So
Yeah, that dude who TMZT spill. Yeah, that's basically what he did. He made YouTube into a Hollywood set. And that motherfucker has actually said that. He said, yeah, I've worked on movies and productions. I've heard this nigga get on, it may have been Obsidian's channel or somebody, and this motherfucker told a bold-faced lie talking about he just got out of a meeting with YouTube. Nigga, what? Nah, bruh. Nah, bruh. What meeting is YouTube having with you, fam? You got 50 views on your last video. Nah, they're not
right.
meeting there.
And look at his character that he's displaying. I don't think they would be proud or happy of that. I mean, like I said, I watched videos with this dude. He had a whole bottle of what was that, vodka, and drinking it from the bottle. Okay, and then he was like, "I got my liquor, my energy drink, the little bottle, the liquid energy shots they have, and he had a beer, and he was doing all of that." I'm like, this guy's on something heavy. And several, I mean, I watched a lot of his shows, if not all of his shows. When I research, okay, and this guy drinks a lot on air, and his behavior is like clearly he needs to go somewhere and get some help because I don't know what happened to him.
Well, you heard the story.
I
He
don't
was
know.
he was molested and trafficked through a prison. And he saw
Yeah,
multiple
and
people
I know
die.
that story he
He didn't tell.
told, but she said that's her story. So between the two of them, I don't know what's going on. I don't know whose story that is. But I'm inclined to believe that that may be his story because he's showing signs that he's been through something traumatic. And I'm not wanting to bash the brother. That's not where I'm coming from. I don't mind whatever issue you got with him. You can do what you do. But I'm just saying, I don't see why other people who dealing with him and promoting this kind of stuff don't pull him to the side and be like, dude, what's going on, brother? Is it something we can talk about? Are you getting milk or whatever it is? Because it's clear. If ain't none of y'all watch none of his videos and y'all see him on other, because I know y'all see him on over there on Voltron and all that other kind of stuff. And he get his rounds because he's supported by these channels, and I'm like, why they rocking with him? He does nothing but talk.
That's
That's
because
it. That's all
I'm
he does.
telling you,
Like,
that's his subscriber count. His subscriber count show there. These motherfuckers ain't watching this show. They ain't watching this channel. They may tune in for a few
that's
seconds here and
stupid.
there. They're not watching him. They just let this motherfucker talk because he got
You're supposed to
14,000 subscribers.
research. Right. And you're supposed to research people that you decide to rock with like that, and promote, and especially if you got status yourself to some degree, in influence or whatever. And you can just watch his videos and tell that he doesn't have a lot of subscribers. You know what I'm saying? They're not real. You know, plus
But
his ex-worker already confirmed that he bought those subscribers. So hey, you know.
but a lot of these YouTubers only.
Okay, Chantel know who he is. She said she been on his panel before. Said I kind of liked it because he was laid back and not disrespectful.
There you
Okay.
go. What to say? You entitled to see your opinion. It is what it is. He's a character. I'll say that. He's a character.
Oh yeah,
But
January man, he was drinking from the bottle, honey. He had a big bottle. What is it called? When it's the real big bottle?
he had a handle.
Not a personal bottle, but the big bottle, like you would buy if there's several people drinking with you.
I think it's. I
Is that
don't
like?
know if it's a handle or what. The big bottle, not the
I don't know.
usual. The one you see on the shelves normal.
Yeah, like y'all know how when you go into the liquor store on Friday night and you're going to get a bottle, you get the bottle. He was drinking from the bottle, the big bottle of Amsterdam. That's what it was.
That $9 special that used to be the shit when I was a kid. We used to go.
Wow,
What
for
you got?
real.
I got $1. What you got? I got 4. All right, nigga, we gonna make this happen. $9 Amsterdam, nigga. We used to get that popping on a Friday night.
Yeah, getting drunk and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I seen Mela try to slick up in. She said something about you, Donnie. I don't know what she talking about. She probably drunk too. She be drunk. She coming up in here. I don't know why she come over here type. See, they be listening to my stuff. Go move on with your life. Like, I don't even know this chick. I don't know this old lady. This old drunk lady.
What she said,
So
Donnie has a very significant, because I just scrolled up when you said that Donnie has a very
yeah,
significant side to emphasize. I don't,
what the hell does that mean?
um, I don't know. I'm curious if let her say what it is. I'm not
Do you
afraid of no
even know
question.
her?
I've talked to her on a few occasions. She came on. She came on, I believe, on my show and somebody else's show. Maybe Black Men Being Brutally Honest. She seemed like a coaching lady on that show. So uh, I've heard her on Suge. I've heard conversations. But at this point, I really want to, like I said, I'm not afraid of nothing. So if she says I have significant side, oh shit, let me charge my phone. Uh, Tell me what that is. Let me know. Maybe it's something I'm not seeing. But
Oh
I
shoot.
know.
Tommy just went live with on her sign with that Vaseline picture. My bad, I had to throw that in. Okay, well, I don't know. I thought she was trying to take a shot at you, so
Yeah,
I
I don't.
blocked her. And not only
Yeah, I don't know
that,
what you're saying. Go ahead.
yeah, I don't. Not only that, she knows she don't bring her ass over here because I don't rock with her.
Yeah, now I
Um,
know y'all is feuding, and well, I wouldn't say
No,
feuding.
we're
Y'all
not
got a
feuding.
disagree.
There's no
Y'all
feud.
got a
This chick
disagreement.
don't know me. She just sits over there. She talks about me all the time, and she doesn't know who I am. Okay, so let her do that, and I don't give her no shine. And I came in Darian's chat one day, and she deleted my comment, and he gave me a wrench, and she said I begged for the wrench, which was ridiculous, and he told her to stop with the shenanigans. And she just kept going, and he ended up ending his live stream, because he just didn't want those vibes. And so,
Okay.
I guess he, spoke to her in, private instead of calling her out or whatever. But that was just crazy. But I don't, and did she, that child, I don't, she ain't welcome over here. If she want to talk to you, she got to do that somewhere else. She would never get a chance to come on my platform.
Well, yeah, and you remember this is how I like to run my show. If you got a dissenting opinion, then you two fight and argue it out, right? And if it come to blows, you come to blows. But we sitting at the table on my channel, right? So I may not agree with what you say. I may not even like you. But we're gonna have
Right.
that conversation and we're gonna go from there. So I don't really know what the history is with y'all. I know what you've told me, and it is what it is for now. So um, I'm a big fan, especially since we on air. Motherfuckers got to be able to defend themselves. So uh, except for
Yeah,
jokes,
and
but
ain't nobody talking about her, ain't nobody thinking about her, so she didn't have no reason to even come over here and put her 2 cents in anything we talking about. So if she hadn't came over here, we wouldn't even be talking about her right now. So she can go take her drunk ass over to Shugs and do drink her bottle and do what she do. But
y'all
she should.
these comments, y'all is crazy. Yeah, all right. Well, let's get into the fold. So let me see. Let me try and start with my little story. Y'all
Yeah,
can
because
ask
you said
questions.
you and Q had it out.
What's that?
You said you brought up Q. You said you and Q had it out also.
Oh yeah, that's so Q, a old ass dusty fake pretending ass superhero military nigga. If you let this nigga tell it, he is secret intelligence, John Wick, the A team. All of these niggas rolled into one, and you got QO dusty ass. Basically, Q will come on my platform, and if anybody's heard Q talk, he's long winded. He don't want nobody else to talk, and he's always grandstanding. He's always trying to humble brag about what he's got, what he's done, how big of a man he is. So Q came on my panel, and like I said, the women on my panel typically will eat you the fuck alive. If there's a drop of blood in the water, they're gonna get on your ass. So Q
Mm-hmm.
came on talking about how he went on a date with some woman and he spent $150 for just a plate. Just the plate was
A
$150.
plate.
And hey, listen, this is what that man said. So when he said that, I'm thinking, he trying to make it bigger than what it is. I'm thinking the meal for that person cost $150. Allegedly, everybody else say he just talking about the entree. So it is what it is.
So one of the girls asked him, "Okay, well, where did you go that it cost $150 per person for the plate?" Oh well, it was I forgot the restaurant. It was a long time ago. Nah, nigga, it's $150 a plate. You gonna remember where the fuck this was? So they beat it out of him. They beat it
Yeah.
out of him, and I think he said, I want to say Flancers, maybe. Um, it was one of the chain steakhouses. Um, Now while he said that, he tried to skirt past that. One of the girls went into the back chat and dropped the menu. The most expensive thing on the menu was like a 32-ounce porterhouse, some crazy ass steak. That motherfucker cost $89. They started going in on Q, so Q get mad. Q started trying to flash about what he got. Um, they get into an argument, and we had to end the show at that point because it was getting crazy. Q was
Wow.
basically trying to tell my homeboy, and it's funny because Q tries to flex his military career on everybody. And one of the people I bring on the show often is Shy. Shy is an ex-Marine. He's current in another branch of the military as a contractor, and basically he trying to flex on him. So Shy like, well, you know what? Fuck you, old punk ass motherfucker. You full of shit. What you gonna do about it? Q goes into this rant, how he gonna whoop his ass. Oh, you punk, you soft. X, Y, Z. So, uh, yeah, he got emotional January, man. Basically, that show ended the next day. The back chat is going. It's a conversation. Q pop in with I bet you woke up scared this morning. Was your blood pressure high?
Wow.
Shy responds with, nah, I woke up this morning and fucked my wife. Q obviously felt some type of way, so he then drops a picture of an Instagram model. He says, no, I woke up next to this. Now, if you look on my channel, it was a couple episodes back. I can't think of what it is offhand. He brings up a woman that he's good friends with. She's 47. She makes $100,000 a year, and she don't date a whole bunch of dudes. And he's trying to get to the bottom of it. Basically, it was the same. It was the same girl, same picture. So we went from this is your friend and now you fucking her. This shit don't add up. So the girls again went reverse image search, found out the girl was an Instagram model. She 23. She lived in Paris, France. They start driving, all this shit, cracking jokes and everything. So I said, all right, we're gonna get Q to come on to this show. We're gonna confront him about this. We're gonna ask him some questions because nigga coming on here lying and telling his big ass tall tales, doing all this extra shit. So I called Q beforehand. I said, Q, I'm gonna do a show tonight. It's about niggas lying on their dick. Are you in? Oh yeah, brother. What about your boy Shot? Uh, yeah, that motherfucker. He don't know. And I'm a black mask up. And I don't even have to do anything. I was black ops. That's what I did in the military. I get a motherfucker. And yeah, and he be driving down the road and his passenger wheel just fly off while he driving because that's how I get down. Oh, okay, cool. You gonna get on the show? Yeah. So he get on the show, and at this point, we can only laugh at him because he just looked like a fucking clown. So I asked him, I said, what do you think about dudes lying on your dick? So he goes into this whole long spiel, um, with the point basically being, if you lie on your dick, you gonna lie on me. I can't trust you. I said, all right, Q. What about older dudes lying on their dick? Well, yeah, they just trying to relive their youth and they can't let shit go. Or maybe they wasn't nothing and they trying to do stuff in high school. So they let him talk. And then we dropped the ball on him, knowing about the Instagram model. His
Mm-hmm.
response was essentially, yeah, so the fuck what I lied.
Wow.
I knew the whole time y'all was talking about me, you stupid motherfucker. I knew, but you just talked about yourself for 10 minutes. I put that out there. That was bait. I knew you. I knew it. I knew it. And he been mad ever since. So he been running with Joe. The nigga The, yeah, the nigga mad. So basically, we had that show exposing him, making him look stupid. It's titled "Line on Your Dick," aka Q Caught Line. And he been mad on it ever since. Another dude,
Oh man.
if you listen to the Q talk, Q will tell you he went to college. You would think he's a Q dog, right? The name Q. This motherfucker's name is Alexis, Eric Alexis. Um, he's 50, 52, 52 or 53. He's an E6 in the military. Um, so he's been divorced 3 times. So you know his ex-wives eating up his check. This motherfucker mainly makes about $30,000 a year. You can't be this globe trot nigga spending $150 a plate on a restaurant and you only make $30,000 a year and you paying alimony, rent a house in Texas. This shit don't add up. So once we figure that out, this nigga had a personal vendetta.
I was laughing while you was talking because I remember that video I saw that you made.
Yeah, that nigga was furious. I'm talking. You heard him. You heard him. He was talking for 10 minutes. You can't trust him. You lie on your dick. You lie on me, nigga. You. Oh, okay. Okay.
So now hearing the backstory to why the video was created is more funny now with the girl and in the seat and everything.
And she bad.
He
When I say she
was
bad,
singing Chris Brown or some shit like that. I
so
mean, Q, I ain't throwing no. I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? I saw something funny. So
you you want to play the video? I got the video. You want to play it? I'll send it to you.
yeah.
Let me see. I'll send you the video.
Actually, no, I'm not gonna play it. I'm not gonna play it because then he gonna take it personal.
I did this. I ain't posted it yet because I just ain't. But the person who did this video is she be on my panels all the time, Celebrity on IG, Daphne Sutton on Facebook. This nigga went and took the time to make this video. This video is funny as fuck. So hold on, give me a minute. I'm gonna send it to you.
Yeah, he gonna think I'm banging on him over here. The video was funny though. It was funny. I was like, what the hell's going on in this video right now? I mean, I think Donnie can share his screen. He might be on the cell though. Oh, you did, Chantel? You deleted January, man. Okay, he on timeout. He can't. He's not blocked though. My bad, Sakiba. She didn't mean to. We gonna get her one more chance. We gonna Biggie give her one more chance. I'm gonna put Nightbot on you, Chantel. Then if I put Nightbot on you, TMZ gonna come in here and get Nightbot and smack the shit out of him. Man, I was about to die laughing when I seen that. Oh, he fell out again? Oh shoot. Okay, so maybe he'll be back in a minute. Yeah. I mean, it would be funny if he could play it. But he gonna play it, not me. Okay. So if y'all see the video, it's gonna come from him, not me. My name is Bennett. I ain't in it. But I probably still got it because he sent it to me. Yeah, he did when he made it. Well, not when he made it, but because I think he made it a while back, and I saw the video. He sent it to me recently, and I saw it. So yeah, but it's a small world on YouTube because I didn't know you knew BMT, but I noticed that he do sometimes have like different YouTubers that be over there, in his chat and stuff like that. And I personally never had any issues with him. Him and Nicole came over here and did a show. We did like a couple show. Um, it was a topic we was talking about. Should your guy be able to say no to sex? Yeah, and that was before I heard
All
about
right.
all everything. So
So I just dropped you that video. It's in Hangouts.
I'm gonna put it in the chat, y'all. I didn't get a hangout alert.
No, you didn't. Let me see. Hold on. Wait a minute. Oh, it's still uploading.
Oh,
No, I'm
okay.
getting.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm getting. Niggas getting accustomed to this Android. Like I had to make the switch.
Oh yeah, I didn't get it because I know sometimes the guys um like Brother Sanchez crew when they do the they they be creating so many different hangouts, and it's on my other under my other email address because that's attached to my Sister Soul account. And so when those alerts come up, it logs me out of this hangout and puts me, and I'll be getting confused. I'm gonna ask them one day, why do y'all create so many dang on hangouts? You know, yeah, I feel like they be creating new ones every day. That's weird. So yeah, go ahead and tell us everything else you want to tell us. I'm listening. This is some funny stuff. You still there? Let me. Can y'all hear me?
Okay, so this is what I
Okay.
did. Samsung has a thing called Samsung Share. So I sent
Mhm.
you the link to the Samsung Share. You can actually drop that into the chat, and everybody can click on that
Yeah,
video.
I got it.
It's gonna be up for about a day. So if you're watching this 2 days later, good luck to you.
Those those disappearing messages. I like disappearing messages.
Oh,
you
that sounds
know.
like you sending freaky stuff out through the airways. What's going on? What you doing? What
Huh?
you doing? So you sending out the freaky pictures?
Yeah, I'm saying I like disappearing messages, kind of like Instagram, because if you send somebody something on Instagram, you can unsend it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You know? Yep, you can unsend it. So if they didn't download it or screenshot it, then you can make that sucker disappear. I saw who is it? One of the dudes from Shark Tank. I can't remember his name, but a few years back, I saw him. He was trying to pitch an idea. I don't know if he ever got it off the ground, but he was trying to create a text messaging system where you could send all your messages that you send, they would disappear. And he did a pretty long, it was almost 30 minutes interview, and he was talking about how technically we should want that for all of our stuff, our Twitter, everything, because he was like, once you put it out there, they keep it. You see how they're coming back 10 years later with these people's tweets and stuff and
Yeah,
holding it against them and all
they
that.
didn't fuck Kevin Hart a decade later.
Yeah, exactly. And this interview I saw with him was like almost 5 years ago, and it always stuck with me because I felt like that was I think it was Mark Cuban, yeah, and I felt like it was a wonderful idea. He was talking about people can go back because he said as you experience life and stuff like that, you change, and one day you could be and I used to tell my daughter that. I mean, she's almost miserable. She turned 18, boy. Her social media changed. And I said, hold on, honey, hold up. You got a whole life you want to try to live. You don't want to just be just because you can cuss now and throw your little middle finger up and everything. That don't mean you're supposed to be putting it all on social media. You know, I mean, hey, make your own decisions, but I'm trying to tell you, you're gonna regret that one day. You know, I think it was the day after she turned 18. She took it because a lot of people was doing it back then. I still don't get behind what was so cool about that. But she went on her Facebook and took a picture with her middle finger up. And I would like to die. But I'm like, okay, she's 18. She's 18. She's 18. But I told her, I said, look, one day you gonna, apply for something, try to get into a program, anything, all these things you want to do. And they're gonna look at your social media. They're gonna look at your Facebook. I mean, that's what they do. And that's what Mark was talking about then, and he was saying that you want your stuff to disappear. You trust me, you don't, because sometimes people get too loose, sending stuff, messages to people and posting stuff on social media, and it be stuck out there. So, his whole idea and everything. Apparently, it didn't go anywhere because I haven't seen it, but I see the concept. Because, like, with what you got going on right there, that's a form of it, you know.
Yeah,
So,
basically.
I mean, and there are some apps and stuff out there that you can use. And see, I'm giving y'all some juice for free that you can message people and have your messages disappear. I mean, if I was you, I would use them, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Um,
Okay, so now back to the foods.
yeah, shit. I mean, what you want to cover, Miss Soul Alchemy? What do you want?
Okay, now you did say you wanted to. I don't know if you. I mean, that's up to you if you feel like it's necessary to talk about the case, because I did see the video they did, and I did see how deep they went with it, you know, and I don't know how far that's touched, like how big of a reach it had and everything like that. Only you probably have a better idea than I do.
So,
So I'm not sure how important it is to you to like explain what actually took place with your like how you came up with the charges in the first place versus, what they tried to say.
so basically, I didn't really pay much stalking to everything they said. I heard the highlights, right? Because I'm not gonna sit up here and watch 2 hours of somebody talking crazy and I can't even respond. So I got the highlights. So I didn't get all of it, but basically, um, I was 19 or 20 years old. I think I was 19. I was 19 years old, and I went out with a bunch of friends to a house party. They had to drag me out because I just had a breakup. So when I get to the house party, it's all dudes there, and I'm sitting here going, it's all dudes in this house. Fuck y'all. I don't want to be no sausage fest. I'm finna leave. So the
Right.
dude's house was out. His name is KK. KK basically was like, nah, don't worry about it. I got these girls coming through. So it's probably seven of us dudes at this house party. Within about 30 to 20 to 30 minutes, girls showed up. And when I say girls showed up, I mean, it was an understatement. It was like 15 to 20 girls. House is crowded with girls. So we like, all right, we went in. We didn't have any alcohol. So we left to go to the store. Being kids, we was all under the age of 21. That's why I say kids. Um, we couldn't get no alcohol. But the girl who actually claimed to be the victim in this situation said, I got you. We'll go to the store. I'm going to go get alcohol. So we get to the store. She goes inside with her friend, and they come out with a bunch of bottles. They've stolen bottles, and they brought them out to the car. So we go back to the house, and we proceed to drinking.
Hmm.
So if we fast forward to that night, um, I had been messing with a girl the whole night. And um, at some point, we drunk, we kids. I done lost track of the girl, did something else. I caught another girl. So me and the other girl is upstairs, away from the party, in a room. Um, the girl that I was talking to previously that night, had figured out that we was upstairs, and it come and kick down the door. She banging on the door. All hell is fitting to break loose. I open the door, and the girl flips out on me because she see me and her friend.
Mhm.
Her friend immediately starts crying and trying to like, uh, uh, uh. They get into a fight. It's going down. They arguing. It's
Mhm.
time for me to leave. I'm up out of here. So I said, if you leaving with me, we leaving. So I dip up out of the right. I'm not trying to be in no extra stuff. I'm out.
Right.
So mind you, nothing had happened between me and this girl upstairs because we was only upstairs for a few minutes and nothing had really proceeded to go down, as it were. So I leave. On the way out, I notice the police are coming. So I park. I let the police drive past. I drive off. Now, mind you, this is a house party full of people, basically teenagers, everybody under the age of 21, right? So 19 teenager, 20, etc. Um, Police have come to knock on the door, and this dude is fumbling with the blinds, trying to make the blinds go down, and so you can't see. And in the process of doing this, he hits the blinds too hard, and the blinds just fall. The cops look at him, just open the door. So he opens the door.
Mhm.
Everybody in the party getting a minor consumption. If you don't know what a minor consumption is, it's basically you're under the age of 21. You are not supposed to have alcohol. We're charging everybody in this household.
Mhm.
So everybody begins to scatter. So these girls have run into the bathroom to hide. I don't know why they chose the bathroom, but in the bathroom, they're still arguing about me, basically. Um, the one girl hits the alleged victim, punches her in the face. She gets a black eye. So the police come up in there and they go, what's going on with you? Why do you have a black eye? Why are you over here with the red face? What's going on? The girl, I don't know if she had planned this or it just came out, but basically she said, I was raped.
Mm.
Right. So she got the black eye. The cop is looking at her. It's likely story. So she comes up with this elaborate tale of, well, let me not get ahead of myself. But basically, when you are a victim of a sexual assault and the police are on the scene, what they're going to do is they're going to take you to the hospital. That's first and foremost. They're going to have the
Mhm.
hospital perform a rape kit on you that usually consists of them drawing your blood. I think it's a urine sample. And then they're going to do a swab of the inside of your lady bits. Um,
Mm.
because they
They draw
want
your
to check.
blood?
Um, I think I'm pretty sure they do. Reason is
Okay.
because I know they had drug tested her, so I'm assuming they did a blood test, but it could have been a urine test, I guess. But they
Okay.
want to make sure that you're not, you have been drugged.
Oh,
Um,
gotcha. Okay.
right. So they do all this, and they get the evidence, and then they send it off to a lab. It comes back a couple weeks later. Um, so they get this girl. They do the rape kit on her. Within the next couple of days, they interview her. Her story is she was upstairs doing something. She came out of the bathroom, and I basically caveman clubbed her over the head with a fist, uh, dragged her into the bedroom, held her down, and then penetrated her. Um,
Mm.
uh, at that point, the story I guess is believable enough to them, so they proceed on with doing everything they can uh, to basically throw me under the jail. So they go through and they figure out who I am at some point, and they bring her a photo lineup. Um, Basically, what the states will do is you have a picture on your driver's license. This is why a lot of states have your driver's license expire every 2 or 3 years, something like that, so they can keep a current picture of you. Um, they brought a photo lineup and they put a whole bunch of black people, I guess, who look like me or similar to me. I don't quite know. And they brought the lineup. She goes through the lineup and picks somebody else other than myself. They then proceed to
Okay.
go, okay, well, she picked somebody else, but they know it's me, so they're trying to dig and dig and dig. Now they had this stud white woman who I don't know if she had a vendetta against men or black men or whatever the case was, but then she's trying to drive this case. So eventually they come to my parents' house because this is my I'm 19. This is my last known real address or whatever. They get my mother. My mother takes me to the court, or not to the court, to the police station, and I have to turn myself in. I'm 19. So people tell me when I shave, I'll have a baby face. At 19, I really look like a little kid. My mother made me shave, cut my hair off, do everything, make me look like a little kid. I had to go through intake processing and go sit in jail. When I get
Wow.
to the shoe, the judge brings me up and he goes, "Hey, listen, oh damn, sorry, I got sidetracked." The judge looks at me and he goes, "Okay, what are you here for?" Looks at my charges, says, "Oh, okay, we can go ahead and give you, I think, I think it was 40,000. The reason I'm not sure on it is because um, my lawyer comes up and he changes it quickly to 80,000.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the significance to this day. I don't know why he changed it to 80,000. My lawyer tried to talk him down. He's got strong ties to the community, yada yada yada. Lawyer's like, nah, that is what it is. So I walk off. As I'm walking off and I'm about to actually leave the courtroom and go change into the little outfit that they give you, he pulls me back.
Mm-hmm.
He changes it from that to I wanted it was $120,000. That was my bill.
Wow.
Uh,
Because
so
he felt like you had an attitude right then.
no, it wasn't no attitude because I'm a 19-year-old kid. You got me in court on some rape shit. Like I'm fucked up.
Right, right.
So I'm really fucked up. So I'm not in there on some hard face looking shit, and I look like a little kid. Based on the severity of my charges, because it was about six, I want to say 6 or 7 charges. This motherfucker was like, I can't let you just walk out like that. So he hit me with that. So my whole family got together. I know my family posted this bail within a day. They all got together and put this money up because everybody knew this isn't my character, this isn't my ability. Do you know that these motherfuckers lost me in the system for a couple days?
Wow.
So they posted my bail, and my mother apparently was trying to figure out where I was, and they couldn't find me. So they took me to a place called the Towers. The Towers is 23-hour lockdown, 3-man cells. This is where all the big hitters are, more or less. You ever heard of Jodi Arias?
Uh-uh.
Jodi Arias was the woman, the white one, the Mexican woman who killed the white man, stabbed him like 57 times. It was a big deal. She was on the female side of that. It wasn't at the same time, but she was on the female side of the same jail.
Right.
This is where they had me locked down at. So I get into the cell. I'm in the cell with a dude who killed 3 police officers and a dude who chopped up either I can't quite remember, but it was either his wife or his mother and put her in the freezer.
Mm.
Um,
Wow. Hey, Ray.
huh?
Oh, I was saying, hey to the guy in the chat, Ray.
Okay. So so I'm sitting up in the cell. Can't nobody find me. Everything's looking crazy. Through the air, man, it's another kid in another cell talking. He like, yo, what are you in here for? Listen, I'm in here for some shit I didn't do. Well, yeah, you can tell me. Yeah, I'm in here for some shit I didn't do. All right, well, oh shit.
Damn, 19. Uh-oh. Did you get knocked off again? You about to get knocked off? You still there? You having some audio issue. That's wow. Uh, I'm thankful. I will be as the mom freaking out. I'm glad I never been through anything like that with my boys, and hopefully I never will. Especially if some falsely accused. I mean, probably be worse if it was true, right? But yeah, especially on some falsely accused type stuff, and then to have your own people try to make it, man, that's just way over the top, you know. I just don't. I don't know if this is something that will ever end with our people, but we really cause a lot of harm to each other, you know, and it's not just that individual that you're causing harm to. People just don't be thinking. Like, we got enough enemies. You know what I'm saying?
My bad. All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's for sure. That's why mentors are necessary. You know. Okay, you back?
Um, yeah, I'm back. My bad. But but yeah. So all this shit that popped off. This like basically the dude ended up calling my mother for me, letting her know where I was at, and my mother was able to tell the jail where the fuck I was at. The jail then had to release me because they had the bail. They made a big deal of it because when they released me, um, apparently I was supposed to be released on an ankle monitor. I had no idea of that. But they released me, so we leave. So when you go to jail, anybody knows when you go to jail, you don't get no good food. You be in jail, you be fucked up. Half the time you don't want to eat because you sick. You there, you mad at the motherfucker. So I remember getting out
Mm.
of the jail and my mother driving me through a taco shop drive-through, and we get something to eat on the way out. And we go into the house, and I know my father, he's gonna have one of his long ass fucking lectures with me and shit. But I'm like, I just want to eat. And I remember getting a phone call, my mother getting a phone call, and it was the jail. And the jail was calling to say, hey, listen, bring that motherfucker back here right now. If you don't bring him the fuck
Mm.
back here, we will have air marshals coming and knocking and kick down your door to come and get him. And my mother panicked. Now, at this point, she had already realized that the lawyer she got wasn't shit. Um, I don't remember. I don't really know how she knew. So whatever it was, she knew the lawyer that she got wasn't shit. So she got another lawyer. So she called that lawyer. The lawyer woke up in the middle of the night, called the jail, cussed him the fuck out, and said, "Listen, we're not playing these games. If you didn't release him with an ankle monitor, then that was your fuck up. We'll have to meet you in the office tomorrow. You can come to my office with the ankle monitor." So I began sitting on an ankle monitor for, I believe, 6 more months. And everything about my case was fucked up because the prosecution was basically dragging their feet every step of the way.
Mm.
They weren't releasing discovery
6 months.
evidence.
You said 6 months. I'm sorry. You
Six
you
months.
you had to wear ankle. Okay, so can you just tell me like what did that mean? Is it the same for everybody or what? Because I always wanted to know, like, because I see it on TV and people make jokes and stuff. But do you really like you don't get to leave your yard and stuff like that?
So the ankle monitor had a radius of X amount of feet. Really, what it meant was I could walk, I can go into my backyard, I could go to the front yard to a certain extent. If I walked too far into the front yard, that was my ass. And when I say that was my
Mm.
ass, because it happened twice. Because once we had a fire at the house. The house blew. I was listen. Nigga was trying to make some French fries and wasn't watching and walked outside, set the house on fire.
Oh man,
but, but
man,
my mama got a new kitchen out of that, so good for her. But uh,
good for you. You didn't get that kitchen. She probably had one less child.
oh man, shit. But yeah, basically, you only have a radius. So I know Rick Ross had a song. He was like, "Yeah, I can't even walk around my whole house." You only have a
Wow.
radius. Now they have different types of ankle monitors where I guess it's maybe GPS or something where you can't leave a certain vicinity. But mine, it was hooked up through the phone line. So my dad was paranoid, but it was like they probably recording the call. But it was hooked up through the phone line,
Yeah.
and it ran back, and she could call, and it would beep beep beep. But basically, I could go in the backyard. I can go into the front yard to a certain extent. Uh, if I wanted to get in the pool, was a no go because if it was submerged and the signal couldn't bounce through, it would alert. If if I decided to sit in the tub, I guess you couldn't do that. So like I remember I wanted to sit in the bathtub one day, I had to kick my leg up out of there. It's just limitations. I used to find any
Right.
excuse I could to leave the house. So I know I had the drug test. We had tasks. Tasks you would call and you would drug test based on the color. So it would say today's drug test is going to be red, green, and blue. You had to go if your color was called. So I got a good 2.5 hours just to go to task. So I knew I would speed over the task, go piss in the cup, come somewhere and kind of kick it for like an hour and 30 minutes, and then roll over to the house. That's what it was. And I tried to get a job. McDonald's wasn't hiring me. Like, it was crazy. But basically, yeah, you're in the house. You're in the house. You can't go nowhere. You're basically incarcerated in the house. Um, so you had to find different ways to do things in the house. And me at 19, I was at
Yeah.
19. I was popular. I was doing everything. My whole world crumbled because I was sitting in the house.
We can
I couldn't work.
imagine. Was it summertime?
It fuck yeah, it was summertime.
Cause
Yeah, it
yeah,
was.
cause you said something about getting a job and stuff. That's why I figured
Well,
it was probably summertime. And then you mentioned
because
the pool.
it fucked my world up because I had a good little job. I had a because this happened in 2006 or seven, and I had
Hmm.
a 2005 Impala, and I had the stereo in it, the TV screens, all that shit. So you can imagine I'm flossing, I'm missing prime time.
And you couldn't drive your car.
I couldn't drive my car. I couldn't pay for the car. We had to I basically sublet the car out to a friend of the family and let them drive the car for the time that I was off. It was crazy.
Now Chantel says, did the girl show up for court? How old was she? Did they find out she lied? Maybe did it before? Because you did say she didn't identify you. Now, did she do that on purpose? Because she knew you, right?
I no, so I never met any of these girls before that night. This these all of
Oh
these
wow.
girls were from basically like a different school system or whatever, right? And I say school system because you 18, 19, that's really where you know everybody from high school. You know everybody from
Mhm.
you going to school and shit. Um, these girls were from a different part of town. They were from um, East Mesa and was it East Mesa? Yeah, it was East Mesa. So I didn't know any of these girls. So um, we never went to court um, based on the charges. Basically, uh, I I tell you about because this shit's crazy to me. I tell you about me being on house arrest. So me being on house arrest, my parents tried to do different things to try to keep me from doing what I'm saying. Because this is really where I was going. Because you got to think, I'm sitting here looking at a lifetime charge of
Mhm.
going to jail. Even if I don't do a whole lot of time in prison, when I get out, I'm going to
It's
be labeled
always
as a
gonna be
gangster.
on your record. Yeah.
So there's not much you can do. Um, so I'm looking at this shit and I'm going, like it's game over for me. Like it's really game, and I'm trying to deal with this shit. And I'm like, the truth gonna set you free. I'm watching Law and Order, SVU every
Well,
damn
let
day.
me ask you a question. Did
What?
at 19, sometimes you're still young and I think it would be harder for your parents, like if you were not having the ankle bracelet and you were still able to go out and get your mind off of it and hang out with your friends. But um, if you were to really be honest, having that ankle bracelet and being stuck like you were, did that not help bring to your mind like how real it was and how serious it was, and all the consequence, like you had to face that and think about it, kind of being locked down, if you will, at the
I
house like
needed,
that?
I knew this shit was real when they slapped the handcuffs on me. I was like, that's why I was like,
Wow.
fuck this. Like everything about this is some fuck all of this shit. And it made me really trip out because it was nothing I do. Me being on house arrest probably made the situation worse because I have a doting grandmother. Uh, my mother is crazy. My father is crazy. So like I can see everybody leave the house, and I'm just sitting here in this motherfucker just looking crazy. Like that. Like man, to be honest with you, I probably would have been better in jail. like could like it was a lot, but I'm very grateful for the fact that I was on house arrest because due to the fact, as my grandmother would say, that I was on house arrest, I could kind of maneuver and do things and work on my case. Um,
Okay.
so the girl had a MySpace page. So I started to do everything I could to try and build everything for my case. Because like I said, I never met this girl. I don't know who this girl is. Uh, Hell, my friends, only one of my friends knew this girl, and he knew this girl by like a friend of a friend. So I was able to screen, I wouldn't say screen record, but like copy, like take pictures of her MySpace at the time and try to build
Mhm.
that as a case. And then I noticed on my MySpace, all of her friends were starting to friend request me. So
Mm.
one day my mother was like, why don't we throw a party at the house? You damn sure can use it. Let's throw a party at the house. So we throw a party at the house. And it happened to be one of my friends' birthdays. So she was like, just come over to the house. We throw a party at the house. So we throw a party at the house. And it's a gang of kids that come over to the house. Um, do you know that this girl showed up to my house?
The girl that accused you?
The girl that falsely accused me showed up in my house. So,
Okay, so she didn't know it was your house.
what'd you say?
She didn't know it was your house, though, right?
I don't know. I know
Okay.
her friends did. So,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I can't really speak on whether she knew or not. Do I believe she knew it was my house? Yeah. Um,
And everybody knew what was going on with the case, right? They knew about the case.
everybody knew, and I'm talking about I was getting people like, yeah, such for my peoples, yeah, and they would have a picture of me up, free him, like this was the shit that was going on. So she showed up to this house, and my mother comes out. She's like, "Oh, baby, it's okay. I know they just making you say that." She hugs the girl. Girl comes on into the house. We in the backyard now. Imagine me at 19 years old. We in the backyard. This might have been my 20th birthday. I, anyway, it didn't matter. Uh, Imagine me at 19 years old, smiling like a motherfucker, like the cat that ate the rat.
Hmm.
We got my little brother outside. He touching the camera, can't nobody touch because for like the photography purposes. He running around with the camera shooting pictures. I'm behind this girl in every frame, smiling. Girl,
Okay,
hey.
so what you're saying is when your mother hugged her and everything, she basically,
Oh no, she
I don't
knew.
know, did they have a conversation?
It wasn't. I think it was. She just hugged the girl and she was like, "It's okay, baby. Just go on inside the house and God gonna work this out. God gonna work this out.
Okay.
The
He was
black mama
smooth.
spirit.
He was
God's gonna
smooth.
work this out." So she went inside, and I'm talking about we was at the house for like 3-4 hours. Her homegirls was flirting with me. Every time there was a picture, my little brother is snapping pictures like he ain't got no goddamn sense. I'm in the background. I done found a way to be in the background. If I gotta hang from a tree, I'm in the tree hanging and smile. So my lawyer get this. He was like, "You got to be fucking kidding me." I was like, I told you I didn't do it. He said, I know you didn't do it, kid, but like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, I've never heard of this shit. So he sends
Wow.
it off, and he's having a conversation with the prosecutor. And the prosecutor's like, well, this don't really look good. He's like, no, it doesn't fucking look good. You dismiss this case. The prosecutor's like, well, and I need the discovery evidence because we still haven't gotten the discovery evidence at this point, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
discovery evidence is basically the rape kit
The kid that they did on her, yeah.
and like her interviews, etc. Do you know they get the rape kit back? The rape kit shows that she had no sex that night.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have this girl showing up in my house for a party to hang out. And on top of that, we have a girl who saying she's been raped and she's not been
Mm-hmm.
penetrated that night.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question though. I mean, I know it was so many years ago, and you probably don't. But can you remember like the vibe between you and her, the party? Like because I
I
mean, I
didn't
get
talk
it
to
as a teenager, you probably didn't have the courage to come up to you and say anything specifically, but
her. I didn't talk to her. I
right.
avoided her at every interaction because um, and it was awkward. It was awkward as fuck, and she knew
You
it was
probably was
awkward.
shook at that point. Yeah.
But I was like this bitch really showed up. Like, oh, thank God! Like, oh shit! And all her homegirls is flirting with me, so I'm like, yo, I'm really gonna get the fuck off. And in my mind, and you got to keep in mind, this is like prime USA Network, Law and Order, SVU shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
watching this shit every day. I'm like, bitch, Detective Benson would be on this case. He'd be like, yeah, girl, you got to get rid of this case. I like it, like my mind is playing games like a motherfucker. Like, yo, like this is done. I'm free. And the craziest part is it still took another 2 months after that.
Man.
It took
And I'm sitting here listening to you as you're talking about it, and I've never had any trouble with the law, but I'm definitely not a guy. We hear about this kind of stuff all the time. So I'm not a dude. So I never been in this situation before. So I'm trying to put myself there, but it's like I have no idea. I could just but only imagine, what
oh,
that's like, and
17
know
should
that
tell.
someone has that power over you just like that, just because she's a girl and she said you did it. Uh,
It was insane to me because there was like it just was insane. And what was crazy is the detective on the case was still trying to push for this case to go forward.
That's how they do.
My
That's
lawyer
how
had
they
to
do.
call the detective and said threaten her with internal affairs for her to back down. This is the shit that trips me the fuck out. So like even after this shit was done, the Mesa Police and Mesa Police has been in the news for on a couple of occasions for with black people. They harassed me for years. But essentially all of this shit happened. It really it fucks with your confidence. Um, it fucks with your mental state. It fucks with everything. And it took me a long
Man,
time to recover. And I really, even when you feel like you didn't do anything wrong, because all the deck is stacked against you, it makes you feel like you've done something wrong. And it makes you look
right,
at everything. So I like the shit really it fucked with me for a long time. And it took me a long time to reconcile that I didn't do anything wrong, that I was a victim of
right.
the situation, and that I wasn't the first or the last black man to go through this shit.
Man, it's crazy how it was just that easy for her to come up with that, and then to
She was white.
I guess she just she I didn't want to ask, but I kind of figured that because
Yeah, she was a
the
white
way
girl.
that you said that they were pushing, the prosecutors and stuff were pushing, so I just kind of figured that. But I guess at one point she just didn't want to go through with it, and maybe her conscience or her friends, her parents, or somebody was like, hey, if he didn't do this. So that's probably why she ended up showing up at the party, Because
It's more and like it's more like I didn't even tell you the full detailed story, but like there's more shit to that. But it was so much that
she did show up.
love. Oh shit.
Having a little difficult stream that.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it was trying to kick us out.
Ah, okay. Her homegirl started
We're
telling
good.
on her.
So yeah,
Ah,
but I
okay.
mean, and to
Yeah,
have that happen at such a young age, especially when I mean, this is the prime age where you're supposed to be living it up and doing your thing. So I can imagine that did mess with you, especially when trying to get with a girl. It's like, oh, okay. Uh,
it made me super paranoid thereafter. So it like it got me to the point where I'm recording chicks like, hey, sex was cool, yeah, okay, you enjoyed that, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, cool, and the record. like like
yeah,
I don't play games at this point. I'm in a situation now. I'm engaged and
yeah.
everything. But beforehand, like yeah, I always had something to verify. What the case was. And one of my favorite comedians is Patrice O'Neill, and he had a joke. He was like, when you deal with a white woman, which in this particular case, this is what my situation was. He said you could fuck her and you you put out the next day like, all right, well I'll see you later. What? I want to hang out with you. Yeah, no, why don't you go ahead and kick it? Well, why don't you make me breakfast? No, it's time for you to go home. And her next response would be, well, why did you do what you did last night? Huh? What? Oh God, what you want on your pancakes? Um, it made
And
me.
fortunately now we have social media, so those sweet talking, sweet texting, if you will, to confirm that everything was consensual, if you know what I mean, on the slick side, then you got that on record.
Yeah, you gotta like I be telling little dudes out here, you got to confirm everything with these women.
Yeah.
Period. Point blank. And
I
if you
done, I
don't,
done, taught, I done taught my young man slick little tricks and stuff, you know.
if I go out, like, cause I still didn't let whole life go. Like I had to recover, but I didn't let whole life go until I was a little older. But I used to go out with a friend and be like, listen, I'm going out with this white chick. I'm going out with this chick. I'm going out with this chick. This was going on. And then I would send him a message. And it wasn't no sexual act going on, but it would be like a confirmation that the shit was consensual going on. That way it was on record. One of us had it, and we could always run it back. Man, this you can't play games in this era.
Yeah. I think he said in this era, but for black guys, it's always been
It
in.
it's always been, but in the difference between this era and others are based on my experiences, you can at least get a little bit of leniency if you have some kind of proof. In reality,
Mm-hmm.
I still would have been fucked if I had that first lawyer. If I had the second lawyer the whole time, I might not even have went as far as it did. But the first lawyer had me fucked up. Back in the day, it didn't matter if you had proof or didn't have proof; they were still gonna lynch your ass.
Right. Right. And so yep, because a lot of times you ain't even get no trial and none of that. So it was just immediate, like they Emmett Till you, if you will. So it's just crazy, man. And then to know that your own people would turn around and try to use something in your past against you to come out and ruin your life again, if you will. And it's like, we all got some shit there. You know, I don't think anybody's record is spotless. You know, I don't have no criminal record, but shit, I wasn't never no saint. It depends on, I guess, how you judge stuff. You
It
know,
it
but we've
always
all done
it
something.
always it always amazes me that when you irritate these dudes, that's the first thing that they go through, and they don't have anything else. So once that's done, they look stupid because they don't have anything else to really assault you with, right? Just like with BMT. BMT went out of his way to try to make that a big deal. Okay, cool, but you got to realize I'm not the first black person this happened to. There's been a
Right,
whole but shit. It happened to Kobe. Niggas ain't boycott the Lakers.
right.
Antonio Brown is
It's been
currently hit with it.
happening
I don't know
since
what
the
what
beginning
he
of
did with it.
time. I mean, we just brought up Emmett Till, so
Right, Emmett Till, worldwide, the whole world knows
right.
Emmett Till. He was, but it wasn't even a rape. He was accusing. He was whistling at a white woman.
I mean, no, but Chantel is bringing up a good point, and I don't know. Maybe it's just um, I don't know because I mean, did your mom have those kind of talks with you? Did she say, "Be careful about them white women"? You know, be careful about women. Period.
Yeah, you
Is that the
ignore that
first
shit
thing
as a
happened?
kid.
I mean, or your dad? Either way.
You ignore that shit as a kid. You don't take that shit serious.
Yeah.
Mom, get the fuck out of here. Mom, all right, mom. All right, mom. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm tired of this, mom. Oh, okay, cool. But you know what? It's not even a white woman thing. And I hate to be that guy, especially because my stance on everything is, but it's a woman thing. Any woman can put you in a bad position. You need to be 120% prepared, whether it's white, black, Latino, etc., because that's the
Yeah.
culture we live in. That is the
Yeah.
culture we live
That's
in.
That's true. That's true. I mean, you know, and we know girls can get in trouble too, but that's not what we're talking about tonight. So anybody watching that want to say, guys do this and guys do that, yeah, we know, but that's not what we're talking about right now. So I mean, um, it's just wild, man. It is, but hey, you know, at least and you know, with the bad part to me when stuff like that happens is that it doesn't go anywhere, you know, because people can create false charges against you and you can get them taken care of, but they don't take them away. They leave them on your record that you were even charged. And I think that is ridiculous, you
So
know.
I did exactly that because I wanted the shit gone. I couldn't get rid of it. That was amazing to me. That was absolutely amazing to me that I could not get rid of a charge that was falsely put there, even though you have
Right.
all of the evidence showing that nothing happened to that girl whatsoever. That shit's got to sit
Yeah.
on my record. And let's be honest, the job I have now required an FBI background check. They went through, they cleared it, cool. But had I been a small business owner, had I been somebody who just was really inquisitive, if I had pulled this up, I'm gonna look at this shit and go, I got some questions about it.
Exactly. Exactly. And a lot of people will use it to judge you because everything that you just told us, they don't know. And in my opinion, they don't need to know because if it was dismissed, you guys didn't even go to court, you didn't even go to trial. It must have been so significantly wrong to where it was totally invalid and they should dismiss it. Now, had you went to court, you had trial, whatever, and you were found not guilty, you know, maybe they could have some questions here as far as, you know, I wonder what did actually happen and things like that. But if you cleared yourself in a court of law, people shouldn't have that in your future in different situations to be able to like judge you because of it. You know, that's the part that bothers me, you know,
But
about stuff like that.
that's why I keep coming back to the same situation. You have
weak individuals who come out and they don't got nothing else. So they go with these dismissed charges in order to try and defeat an argument that I make. And that shit says a lot about that person, their character. Like that shit's crazy to me. Like BMT went on this whole tirade. I've spoken about this shit before. I'm exposing him. How you exposing something I haven't talked about? Well, he's
You
a
know,
rapist. I'm a rapist, but it says dismissed. Well, you got to prove that it says dismissed. Well, nigga, you showed it's dismissed. Like the shit just don't make sense. You don't do any due diligence. You don't do any research.
right. That's what the thing that disappointed me so greatly about that part is just that it was coming from another dude. Because I think when we first talked about it, I told you I remember hearing not C Boogie, the other guy talk about his
Super
situation he
Triz.
went through when he was accused. Who said again?
Super Triz. Super Triz was falsely accused as well. Super Triz
Yes.
was vindicated.
And he
And
told his story, and I was just like listening to it, like, oh my gosh. I mean, because he told his story just like you told yours, and all the things he had to do to get out of it, and just thinking about what that could have meant. And it's like, wow. And so for me to see that these were Black men that was doing this, and I'm like, dude, y'all know you're a Black man, though. You know what this is, and it could be you. It could have been you, and it still can be you until the day you die. So why would you be out here doing this on a video? Like, to me, I just still can't wrap my mind around something like that. Like, I don't get that. I just really don't. And then to see, I mean, it's right there. It says what happened with the charges on top of that, but you still gonna try to make it. Like, I just don't understand stuff that our people do sometimes. Like, I really don't. Like, I don't get that part. I just don't get it.
so my whole thing is before you dive into any of these accusations, because this motherfucker made some heavy accusation, like, oh yeah, he beat up the witnesses. First off, you can't do that shit in a rape charge. If you get charged with rape, the state's picking that up shit for you. Period, point, fucking
Yeah.
blank. Uh,
Yeah.
and they have protections. If you are a victim of sexual assault, you don't have to show up to no fucking court. You can make your statement and be done and walk away. They've got everything they need from you. They gonna pursue his ass, period, point blank. The shit was dismissed, but they ran with that whole fucking narrative, and that shit irritates me because you don't know anything about the case. Although you can go and go spend because it's like 10 cents a page or some shit like that and get every particular detail of the case. All you got to do is say, hey, listen, I'm looking for the case number X11111. I want all the details on it, and they gonna send it to you. So all you got to
Mm-hmm.
do is go through it and read and see what it has. We see what it says. You can pull up the reports where it says no sexual activity occurred. You can pull up the reports where it says at this point it was filed for a motion of dismissal, and the prosecutor looked at it and says, "Oh shit, I'm just gonna go ahead and dismiss this." You can see all of that in the court case, but you don't. Instead, you want to say crazy shit because it fits your narrative.
Right. But you know what, Donnie? I don't even think you should have to do all of that. It states on the record what the results are, and that to me should be enough. It should be enough. If it was dismissed, what else do you need to know? You know, that's being extra malicious. Like, what else do you need to know? Why would you need to know how it came to that decision? In my opinion, there's nothing else to say. Listen, me and you talking on this thing right here, right now. I can go downtown tomorrow and say that you gave me a cyber threat. I could do that. And guess what? You got a charge. Now, I will end up not proving it, right? And you will end up not getting charged. But guess what? I've put that on your record.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is how the world works. And if people see that as dismissed, and sometimes, but you know what? Sometimes that stuff don't show up depending on what kind of searches they do. But what you were saying about the victims not being able to drop certain things, that's why I was saying maybe that's why she showed up at her home, because somebody maybe talked to her and kind of suggested she do that, because she probably she was like, yeah, I know I'm lying. So, and she just didn't want to go through with it. And so,
I simply just don't know the facts of that. I have my own beliefs on it. I think that's why she rolled up in there, because she knew, like, you don't, like, if a motherfucker sexually assaulted me, I'm not finna go to your fucking party. I don't give a fuck who's there. I don't give a
right.
fuck who is in the house, or what. Is Rick Ross there? I don't give a fuck. I'm not finna go up in there. But
Yeah.
it didn't happen, so she didn't have that, oh, I shouldn't be here feeling, right? So she showed up. But in all honesty, I don't know what her reason was. So, because I didn't talk to her, I didn't have a word or a conversation with her. She showed up at my party. All her friends came around me, and everything else. So at that point, you, I, I don't know what to tell you. I just, like, the shit baffles me to this day. But I look at it as a testament to who I am as a person, because it broke me down, but in the same breath, it built me up to who I am. So it's a lot of these motherfuckers out here who are doing things, and it gave me the courage to, like, I fought for 10 years after this, right? When the average person is like, I don't know,
Wow.
did it. I was afraid to get in the ring, or I don't know. I looked at it like, I almost spent 25 years, had all this shit on my record in jail. Getting punched in the face ain't that fucking bad. And
Wow.
it only gets easier from there. If you look at motherfuckers who know me, they'll tell you, like, if we're in a situation, some shit pop off, I'm not stressed out. You're not gonna see me over here freaking out, because I've been through work.
Mm-mm. Yep. I already know how you get down.
Like,
But yeah, to know that that's something that for the rest of your life, like because people will look you up just off of any kind of relationship or introduction, for their own research, safety, or just to know who they're dealing with. If you want to go on a date with a female, she might run your shit. If you want to get into business with somebody, if you want to go get a job from somebody, um, just anything you want to do with people, a lot of things people do is they check out your social media, they see what kind of content and stuff you put out, where your mind is at, what your political mindset is, and they look up your record, they see if you're being
mhm.
convicted of doing anything, and they look at charges. People look at charges, and it puts thoughts in their minds, even though these charges may have been dismissed.
I've
That's why it's crazy. Big
I,
ticket, and it's BS, and it's dismissed. It don't go nowhere.
I dated a girl,
You know?
and her dad, black dude, black black dude, Nick's daughter. I dated a girl. Her dad pulled my whole life up, and he, which is funny, because he brought up the traffic tickets first, because I had a gang of traffic tickets. I thought I was Fast and Furious for shit. He brought up the traffic tickets first, and he was like, "Now I know about
We've
the
all
charge,"
been young. We've all been young.
but this shit is crazy. He brought up the rape. He was like, "Listen, I know about these rape charges. They say dismissed, and you're a black man. Uh, I'm sure it was with a white woman. Was it a white woman?" And I'm really baffled that he's even pulled this shit up. I'm going, huh? Yeah. He said, just tell me what happened. I just want to know. And it made me realize from Jump Street that motherfuckers is gonna look you up. They're gonna find shit out. So it's best for you to hear it from my mouth first, and you get the choice of whether you want to deal with me or not. And that's how I am with really ever since then. I was probably 22, 20, yeah, about 22 then. Um, And ever since then, like it just changed my whole dynamic of dating. Listen, uh, I ain't gonna tell you the first date, but like the second or third date, you might get everything. If I like you, I feel like you spending time with, I'm gonna tell you everything, and you got the choice at that point. Do you want to fuck with me or not?
Yeah.
And you're not gonna ever hear something about me that you didn't hear from my mouth first, unless it's a lie.
Yeah. And that's the best way to go, because I mean, you never know. Her father might end up looking you up and then be like, "Oh no, this dude's dangerous," and anything. But that's just crazy. That's just crazy, and it's crazier to even think about the whole lot of it and know that this dude was doing this to try to make you look bad, but the whole time, look at the crap he was doing.
Yeah, but that all reflects on him and his lifestyle. That motherfucker lives a lifestyle of fantasy. Like I said, he out here giving real estate advice on buying and owning property, and he rent. This
Wow.
motherfucker, this motherfucker ain't got no job. He collect a disability check, but he telling you how you should manage your finances. I mean, the shit's the shit's amazing.
Wow. It's crazy the stuff we can get into with people on social media, man. I'm telling you. To see how it has turned out between black people, over a general disagreement, stuff like that. It's just wow. It is. Let me see what's going on in the chat. Any questions?
I see Information Man Speaks podcast. I think that's a dude who rocked with Joe.
What? I haven't seen him over here in a while. And his comment says, interesting.
And Miss Chantel is going the fuck off.
Uh-oh. Let me see. I haven't put no comments on the screen. Let me see what's going on. So we had Mimi come in. Okay. Oh man. I gotta make these comments a little bigger. I can't even see that mess.
Oh, you getting old. Get old.
She going in on Information Man. Dang. Some issues, huh? Okay, the Roger Report is here. Greetings.
What's going on, Rod? That's my habitual line stepper brother right there. Roger Stevens at the Roger Report.
He says men don't expect to be hanging out with a potential rape accuser, but any woman has the ability to claim she was raped if spent any time with you. Life isn't any close to fair for brothers. And that's deep.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, basically. He just to give him a little shout out. He lives in Chicago. And remember, as we were talking earlier about Tyrone Muhammad, that brother went over to that area on the south side of Chicago and actually went to that nail shop. If I'm not mistaken, he did a couple of interviews with people around. So the next show he does with that topic is going to be pretty interesting. Y'all should probably tune in.
Okay, and this is the Roger Report?
That's the Roger Report.
Okay.
I can't see his damn comment, man. My shit, it ain't updated. Maybe this nigga blocked
me.
Told me.
I think he made a couple of comments. I'm going through the comments here.
January.
TMZ is a trip.
Yeah, TMZ is hilarious.
That night by.
January man told her, yeah, he said that man got emotional. That's exactly what he did. That motherfucker got real emotional. He hurt.
Who?
Q.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if y'all watched that clip.
Wow.
They put him on Psycho Dater. That motherfucker's a serial dater. He's a nut.
Yeah, I seen he got doxxed with that too.
Yeah. Apparently that
And
came.
that's right. And you know what? The next time I saw him, he had changed his whole profile.
Yeah. So after he got ate up on my show, he became the 5-star general. Still long winded, still same nigga, but he changed up the picture because niggas was making fun of his tight ass t-shirt with his male girdle on. Like, yeah, they was cracking jokes. He changed it up. And
Yeah,
again,
they was clowning him one time. We was on an Obsidian panel, and he went turn on his camera and stuff, and he was trying to show off his car, and he showed himself, and he is loaded.
yeah, he did
Like,
that
dude,
shit on my channel. He was trying to stunt. And yeah, he was bloated. He was like, yeah, I got all these medals. These medals I got. These medals I make me great. And then, motherfuckers freeze frame looked at medals. The medals was shit he bought from a little PX store.
like, dude is big. Like, oh my goodness. And he was getting clowned for that.
Um, why do you say information man is good people? And he's pretty sure he's unaware of BMT's snake in the grass behavior. So, if Raj said it, it must be true. I'm gonna roll with him. I've never really paid attention to the dude. I don't think I'm really quite familiar with him. So could be very true, sir.
Well, I say what I said before. You know, people as adults have an obligation to do their own research on people, and this guy is not hard to see. All you gotta do is look at him, look at his channel, look at his videos, look at his content, look at how he behaves on his channel, and you can see that something is, off with to do. Um, so, I mean, hey, again, I'm a researcher, so
That's what I
I
would
don't
say.
know.
I think motherfuckers really looked at him and his subscriber amount and said, "Oh yeah, he the truth. He the way and the truth," and they ran with it.
Hmm.
I don't know,
Yeah,
love, but I need to get my ass up early in the morning. I really appreciate this show. I love the show. I'll be back. You need to come over to You Ain't Shit for Watching because y'all ain't shit and you're gonna be watching. So pop onto my channel,
yeah,
show me
yeah.
some love, subscribe, tune in, all that.
Yeah. Put your. I'm a. You know what? You sent me a channel link. I'm gonna put that link in the chat so people can subscribe. Go over and check out your content. And yeah, next time you're holding a panel or whatever, let me know topic and everything if I can come through. Did you ever do the one that you was gonna do that one time when I was gonna come on? I think it was
Nah,
about.
I wanted to talk about the LGBT community and how they really trying to sneak in this pedophilia bullshit. I just
Mm-hmm.
didn't end up doing it because I felt like the Tyrone Muhammad thing was a little bit more pressing. Because I really was clicking on YouTube and seeing these comments like Tyrone Muhammad, is he gonna fight the Pookie? And that shit irritated me to no end. So I felt like that was a little bit more pressing for time and a little bit more of I guess current media. So yeah, no, I'm gonna put that show into the chamber because it's a thing that's going to be around for a while and it really needs to be
Yep.
talked about.
Yep.
But
When
yeah,
you do, let me know.
black people need to understand that they are really trying to push this pedophilia agenda in schools. There's already a
Yep.
school in California that is talking about the history of pedophilia and trying to present it as a different uh, lifestyle.
sexual preference.
Right, sexual preference, and in addition to that, there is multiple articles out. I think Vice even did one on a man who calls himself a non-offending sexual, a non-offending pedophile, and he basically got on air and said everybody trusts him around his kid or around their kids,
Mhm.
and he is attracted sexually to minors. We're
Yep,
talking, 9, 10, 11,
I did
but
a
he
show
doesn't
on
make
that.
okay, yeah, he doesn't make any action. And did you caught where he was caught later on, basically trying to groom these children into sexual uh to into being open for him, his sexual predatory desires.
Yep. Yep. I did a whole series called "What Are They Doing to Our Children?" It didn't get many views, but it's if you guys type that in, you'll see it. I'll be
Yeah,
glad to bring an
there's a
episode or
lot.
two with you and come over there for that show.
Yeah, there's
Because
a
they're
lot
very
fucking going on.
informative about what they're pushing in the schools around here.
This shit's insane. You seen that movie Open Secrets?
Yes.
There was one with I can't think of the name of it, but it's a VHS copy they put on YouTube, and it's probably from like the 80s, and it was about pedophiles, and on there it was basically a pedophile talking, sorry, talking to children, and he was kind of exposing mentality. I learned a lot from it, but it was creepy as fuck because in his mind, these children doing children things. Like it was a little boy who was probably 9, and he was fidgeting, messing around, lifting up his shirt and scratching on his belly while this grown ass man is talking to him. He got in the car, and his explanation for the child doing that was because he secretly wanted him sexually, so he was doing things to promote himself in a sexual manner to this grown ass man. That same
Mm.
dude was basically suspected of, whoever the producer was, they turned in their information over to law enforcement. The dude had a car in a lot at the airport full of child pornography, and he flew his ass to Thailand. This motherfucker flew to Thailand and was messing with young boys. Um, Thailand caught a hold of his ass, and they killed him. So, these motherfuckers need to be watched. They've been doing this shit for years, for decades, and it's just acceptable to them. And they trying to now teach us that it's just a different way of living. Bullshit.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's really crazy, but we definitely gonna talk about this some more. I appreciate you coming through. This has been a very good and informative conversation. Very informative. So, and I'm glad you got to talk about this. Um, because it's not cool for somebody to, especially another brother, to try and use that situation to, re-smear your name through the mud, if you will. That's crazy. Just to hide their own crap that they're doing. So, you know, just crazy. But I appreciate everybody for coming through and thank y'all for hitting the like button. Okay. Don't ignore the like button. And shout out to Nightbot for doing a better job than he did last night. Go ahead, Nightbot. Nightbot is Nightbot is only gonna get better. So y'all have a good night.
Good night.
And Miss Chantel says thank you for coming by and sharing your story.
Well, thank you, Miss Chantel. You come on the show too. I feel like she got some fire in her mouth too.
She do. I don't know if you ever heard her on DOD's panel. Miss Chantel got a lot of stuff she likes to talk about. You know, a lot of
Uh,
good information. So,
okay, well, come bring that ass on over, and I'll be more than happy to come over. Yeah, I, I'm all for it. Shedding
yeah,
minds, branch out.
absolutely.
All right, you
All
have a
right,
good night, love.
everybody. All right, peace, y'all.